Chapter 4291 The dragon dust roars like a wounded beast. His fierce killing will tear the immortal elder of the dragon family to pieces. Originally, the half-step immortal of the dragon family was far less powerful than the other half-step immortal, although his chi and blood were withered and his strength was far less than that of the other half-step immortal. However, he is used to arrogance and has never paid attention to Longchen. He thinks that in Longjia's territory, Longchen can't make much waves. But did not expect Longchen's see father so appearance. People almost all want a crazy, directly under the killer. The old ancestor of the dragon family was pointed by the lord of the temple with the Ling Shao magic sword and did not dare to move at all. As for other strong people, they were also locked by the spirit of the lord of the temple. Once they made a move, they would be attacked by the lord of the temple. Soul-searching, the dragon dust roars, sees a Yuan Shun flies out, is grasped by the dragon dust, points in that old Yuan Shun's eyebrow. Poof! The old man's spirit burst into pieces. At the moment when the old man's spirit burst into pieces, countless pictures poured into Longchen's mind. Although Longchen can't check the soul like Mingqi, he can only smash each other's soul and check the soul fragments in the simplest and most barbaric way. Although he can't get a complete picture, he can see the encounter of dragon and sky from hundreds of millions of pieces. It turns out that after Long Zhantian was detained here, he was found to have the same colorful supreme blood, and the dragon family even made the behavior of being more animal than animal. They kept drawing dragon's supreme blood, which led to the stagnation of dragon's cultivation in the realm of divine fire. They not only extracted the colorful blood of dragon Zhantian, but also forced him to hand over the magic power of colorful blood. Dragon Aoshan's Qijue sword and Qijue gun come from the magic power of colorful blood. This magic power comes from the hand of dragon Zhantian. It's ridiculous that dragon Aoyan can't coagulate the sword with blood at all. He can only make a Qijue sword. That's why Long Aoyan can't condense the 7-Ju sword with the 7-color supreme blood, but Long Chun can, because the 7-color supreme blood is not his. From those pictures, when Long Chun saw them stabbing into his father's weak body with cold needles to extract blood essence, Long Chen's head was buzzing. You dragon family all give me to die. The dragon dust roars up to the sky, and the holy and solemn chanting voice suddenly becomes fierce, just like the devil's whisper. The wind and cloud between heaven and earth change color, and the temperature rises in an instant. Buzz, a flame lotus emerges. In the lotus, endless flames rise. The endless flames such as ice spirit flame, Taiyin flame, sun flame and flaming flame merge together. As soon as the flame lotus appeared, it rose rapidly and covered the whole Aolong state in an instant. The terrible high temperature made countless buildings burn. At that moment, the whole Aolong state became a fire prison. Alongzu was just split by the lord of the temple. Countless strong people didn't know what was going on, and they all moved closer to the location of the dragon family. Now the flames of terror rise. These people have not been close to the dragon's home, one by one scared to flee. The fire was so terrible that even the half-step immortal level strong people were frightened. If this blow fell, the whole Aolong state would disappear. Except the half-step immortal level strong people, everyone in the state city would die. One of the strong men in the dragon family cried out in horror. Regardless of the command of Lao Zu, he was about to run away. Puff, puff, puff. But those strong people who rushed out seemed to have hit something, and their bodies burst into pieces, turning into a mass of blood fog. Those who flee without permission die. The Lord of the Hall is holding the Ling Shao sword, Cold Tunnel. At that moment, the whole dragon family was in extreme panic. The flame lotus in Longchen's hand was bigger and bigger, and his prestige was stronger and stronger. Looking at the posture, Longchen wanted to destroy the whole dragon family. Hoo-hoo! Countless buildings of the dragon family are burning, and even the battle array can't resist the terrible high temperature. The ancestor of the dragon family is gnashing his teeth, but he doesn't dare move when he is pointed by the Lord's long sword. Shin. At this time, a voice of surprise came from the weak. Long Zhantian, who was lying on the bed, sat up slowly. Long Zhantian has a handsome face. Although he is yellow and thin, he still can't hide his vigor and heroism. He looks at Long Chen, and his eyes full of blood are full of disbelief. "Dad." Seeing his father wake up, Long Chen was both surprised and happy. When he called out the title, his voice choked for a moment, and his tears flowed out. This is his own father, they flow the same blood. "See father wake up," Long Chen excited. "Good boy, I knew that our father and son would meet eventually. Haha." Cough. Long Zhantian wanted to laugh, but after 2 laughs, he began to cough violently and was extremely weak. "Dad, the dragon family has done so much harm to you. Today I want to avenge you and wipe the dragon family out of the world." Seeing the appearance of Long Zhantian, Long Chen was shocked, angry and heartbroken, and gnashed his teeth. Long Zhantian coughed for a while and said, "Chainer, put down your big move." "Dad." Long Chen looks at Long Zhantian in disbelief. "Put it down, Dad has something to say to you." Dragon fight the way of heaven, and then began to cough violently. Long Chen looks at the strong man of the Long family and his father who is still coughing. He wants to kill the animals with 1 blow. But in the end, he puts away the flame lotus and comes to Long Zhantian. He carefully supported Long Zhantian, took out a pill, served him, and immediately his face improved a lot, his cough stopped, and his whole body became energetic. "Chainer, I miss you so much. Let me have a good look at you." Long Zhantian stood up and put his hands on Long Chen's shoulder. He looked up and down at Long Chen, his voice choked. Long Chen was separated from Long Zhantian when he was a baby. Now father and son have gone through all the hardships and come together again, as if they were separated from each other. "Dad, please forgive me for being unfilial. I've made you suffer." Long Chen wails and wails. He has long known that his father is in the dragon family, but now he comes to save his father. His father has suffered so much. He hates the cruelty of the dragon family and his own uselessness. "This pain is nothing. You must have suffered more than Dad. Dad is sorry for you and didn't protect you." Long Zhantian held his son hard, his voice choked and his tears flowed down. "Good boy, today is our father-son reunion day. We should be happy, we don't cry." Long Zhantian patted Long Chen on the back and tried to squeeze out a smile. Long Chen nodded and wiped away the tears from his eyes. Now he finally saw his father, as if he had found the support of his heart, and his heart was full of joy. "Dad, didn't that old ghost erase your memory? You don't seem to have been hit." Long Chen suddenly remembered that from the memory fragments of the old ghost, Long Chen saw that the old man had just extracted the essence and blood of Long Zhantian again, and erased his father's memory. Therefore, when he saw this scene, Long Chen suddenly stormed away to destroy the whole dragon family. Long Zhantian said with a smile, "Although father's realm is not high, he doesn't have the means to protect himself. Otherwise, how can he wait for father and son to reunite?" After Long Zhantian finished, he turned to look at the ancestor of the dragon family. The smile on his face disappeared in an instant, and was replaced by a cold one. "Long Tao, do you remember what I said to you?" www. Novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 4292. The father of the dragon family changed his face, but he didn't speak. Long Zhantian said faintly, "I said at the beginning that your stupidity will harm you. My son, Long Chen, has taken back what belongs to him, so what belongs to me should also be returned. Chainer, do Dad a favor." With these words, Long Zhantian points a finger on Long Chen's eyebrow, and a faint breath of colorful blood rushes into Long Chen's sea of knowledge. All of a sudden, Long Chen felt that his whole body disappeared in a flash. Boom! With a bang, the gate of a treasure house under the dragon's house broke, and then thousands of crystal bottles emerged. These crystal bottles, full of colorful blood, colorful circulation, lit up the whole Alongzu. These are colorful blood. They come from the dragon and the sky. On each crystal bottle, there are powerful runes. They are like a dharma array, absorbing the chaos between heaven and earth, nourishing the essence and blood. When the ancestor of the dragon family looked at the supreme blood, his eyes were full of reluctance and anger. You know, after the colorful supreme blood was extracted, The dragon family spent a lot of money to build the chaotic spirit gathering array, and owed a lot of foreign debt, worked hard to collect chaotic chi, to nourish them, let them grow in the bottle, and finally formed the seeds of colorful supreme blood. Now these seeds have begun to activate. If these colorful supreme blood are transplanted to excellent disciples, they will directly create a tianjiao with colorful supreme blood. This colorful blood seed will take root and germinate in other people's bodies, and finally grow to an unimaginable height. It can be said that the current dragon family is an empty shell. The two men, Long Outyin and Long Zhantian, make the dragon family heavily in debt. In order to cultivate the blood of Long Zhantian, the dragon family pays more and almost gives everything. After all, this is related to the future of the dragon family. The cultivation of Long Outyin makes the Long family heavily in debt. I don't know how much debt they owe. The blood of Long Outyin and Long Zhantian is the layout of the Long family. When Long Outyin was abandoned, someone in the Long family suggested that he take out the mature blood and let Long Outyin absorb it. But some people in the dragon family are against it. That is, what can Dragon Outyin do even if he has colorful blood? His spiritual bones and roots have been dug away, and his future achievements must be limited, not much different from ordinary pride. What's more, if you want to activate the supreme blood of Long Outyin, who knows how many blood species will be used? According to Long Aotian's previous strength, if you want him to recover completely, you need at least hundreds of blood species, which is still a conservative estimate. Hundreds of blood species can create hundreds of powerful top-level tianjiao. It's really not worth the risk to be proud of one dragon. But the dragon family has another headache, that is, blood must be given to the dragon family's top and most reliable tianjiao, so as to spend money on the blade. However, in the first battle of the Holy King's Assembly, the top pride of the dragon family was almost completely killed by the dragon dust. If the blood seed is used on the second-rate strong, it would be outrageous. However, it will take some time for the next group of disciples to grow up. Most importantly, the chaos of the whole world is growing, and other forces are developing crazily. If the dragon family and the next group of disciples get up, it will miss a generation. In this way, the strength of the dragon family will be thrown away by others. For a moment, the dragon family is in a mess, and they don't know what to do. Now, Long Chen comes to the door, saves Long Zhantian, and takes out his blood seed. In this way, the Long family makes a careful layout, invests endlessly, and is heavily in debt. Looking at the crystal bottles floating in front of the crowd, the strong men of the dragon family are ferocious, regretful, and unwilling. They want to rob them, but they dare not. Thank the dragon family for taking care of my blood essence. With a wave of Long Zhanshan's big hand, those crystal bottles disappear instantly, and Long Chen is surprised. You know, these crystal bottles are depicting arrays, and his father is just a state of divine fire, so he can easily collect them. Long Chen is surprised and happy to see that his father is more powerful than he imagined. Even in the absolute disadvantage, he is not without resistance. I'm from the dragon family, and I almost destroyed it. Chainer wanted to destroy the dragon family, so I stopped him. After careful calculation, everything between us can be written off. From then on, our father and son have nothing to do with the dragon family. In the future, if the dragon family offends my father and son again, it will be the time for the destruction of the dragon family. Long Zhantian looks at Long Tiao coldly. Long Chen realized that his father attached more importance to inheritance than he did. When the dragon family treated him like this, he refused to destroy the dragon family directly. If his temper had been his, the whole family would have been slaughtered. The ancestor of the dragon family, Long Tiao, was gloomy and didn't say a word. Today's dragon family is a total failure. All efforts have become nothing, and all illusions have become nothing. Originally, Long Chen was full of resentment against the dragon family and was stopped by his father. He was very upset. However, since his father said so, he could only listen to his father. Long Chen saw that the essence and blood in those crystal bottles were already very powerful after being nourished by the qi of chaos. If the father absorbs them one by one, he will be nourished by chaos, and his foundation will become unbreakable, which is almost equivalent to the treatment of Tianjiao in the Chaos era. It can be regarded as a blessing in disguise. Moreover, with the blessing of the array, the 7-color supreme blood has already begun to practice by itself. After the dragon and heaven absorb it, his accomplishments will rise slowly. If he wants to, he can break through all the time. As for what level he can directly break through, it's not known, but I'm afraid that he will also reach the supreme level conservatively. In this way, it is equivalent to thousands of separate bodies in the practice of dragon war. Now thousands of separate bodies join together, just like thousands of years of practice. Think of here, Long Chen in the heart is more comfortable, God finally open eyes. Father, these years of crime, not in vain. Don't be too proud. The door of the alien world is about to open. Our dragon family is an immortal family after all. The god of heaven has a pulse. The skinny camel is bigger than the horse. At that time, you don't want to come to our dragon family otherwise. An elder of the dragon family can't help but say in a cold voice. Don't worry, our father and son won't ask for your dragon family in their whole life. What I have said today has already been exhausted. Please do yourself a good job, Chen. Let's go. With that, Long Zhantian pats Long Chen on the shoulder and looks at him with a smile. They laugh at the same time and walk out of Long's house slowly. The lord of the temple took back the Lingxiao sword and left with Long Chen. The dragon's family had been burned to ruins. Everyone in the dragon's family was silent, and some even began to cry. What are you crying for? I'm not dead yet, the ancestors of the dragon family scolded. Bao, Laozu, Long Outyan has passed out again. Please go to rescue him. A servant girl ran to come in a hurry. She is to guard Long Outyan specially. Save a fart and throw it to the back mountain to feed the wild dog. Lao Zu scolded angrily. What? The servant girl's face was unbelievable. But Lao Zu and other strong people ignored her and disappeared one by one, leaving the servant girl standing there at a loss. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 4293, Dad. In the Ninefold branch of Lingxiao Academy, more than 5,000 dragon blood soldiers stood together and cried out in unison. Well, you are all the sons of Long Zhantian. I didn't expect that Long Zhantian and his son had been separated for many years, so many more sons all at once. It can be regarded as God's compensation to me. Dragon Battle Day excited tunnel. Looking at these dragon blood soldiers, a good man, his eyes red, Long Chen saw this scene, he knew that the dragon blood soldiers recalled his memories. My father once formed a dragon army, and there were countless hot-blooded brothers who fought together in the world. He also had fresh clothes and white horses, and he had high spirits. It's a pity that things are different now. Those who were brothers of life and death with Long Zhantian were all persecuted by the Long family. Long Chen felt a pain in his heart, and his father experienced too much pain, which he couldn't imagine. If he is locked up one day, when he comes out, if he is the only one left in the Dragon Blood Army, he doesn't know whether he has the courage to live. Uncle, Bai Shishir and Yu Qingxian came forward to salute shyly. Both of them were a little uneasy. They knew that this man was their future father-in-law. For a moment, they were a little uneasy. Get up quickly. Long Zhantian quickly helped them up. Long Zhantian said with a smile, you two children must have suffered a lot with Chen. It's hard for you. Uncle serious, follow Long Chen, no matter how hard we are willing to. Yu Qingxian says in a hurry, but Bai Shishir is too nervous to say a word, so she can only nod aside. I have a fairy-like daughter-in-law like you in the dragon family. I don't know how lucky I've been for several generations. Besides, there are still two. Good great. Long Zhantian looks at his two future daughters-in-law. His eyes are full of satisfaction. His son's eyes really don't say anything. Dad, that's just two of them. Long Chen is embarrassed to send a message to Long Zhantian. Dragon Battle Day Leng immediately burst of laughter. Dragon Dust suddenly more embarrassed, can only follow hey giggle. After taking his father to meet with his brothers, Long Chen sees that Long Zhantian is a little tired and helps him to have a rest. The branch was just activated, and many places are still under construction. But first, we arranged a place for the Dragon Blood Army to settle down. Bai Shishir and Yu Qingxian are so busy that they make Long Zhantian feel embarrassed and wink at Long Chen. Long Chen suddenly understands and excuses to heal his father. Bai Shishir and Yu Qingxian just leave. Only after they leave can they breathe a sigh of relief. Previously, they were so nervous that they did not dare to breathe. They felt even more nervous than at the Holy King's meeting. I'm really worthy of being the son of Long Zhantian. Long Zhantian has a big thumb to Long Chen, with a proud smile on his face. Long Chen didn't know whether his father praised him more because of his confidant or brother. He couldn't help laughing and scratching his head. He didn't know how to answer. Dad, why don't you have a rest for a while? It'll give you a tranquilizing pill to make you sleep more comfortable. Long Chen wrote. Today, Long Zhantian's blood essence was extracted by the people of the Long family, and he suffered from ups and downs. He was very tired physically and mentally, and he could not bear to change the general practitioners, not to mention he was weak. Dad is not as vulnerable as you think. Now there are only father and son left. Tell Dad how you come over these years. Long Zhantian looks at Long Chen. His eyes are full of kindness and doting, but also with pity and helplessness. The biggest regret of being a father is that he didn't watch his child grow up a little bit. Now when he meets again, Long Zhantian is very happy, but at the same time, he is also a little disappointed. Once he loses something, he can't make up for it anymore. So Long Chen rose up in the dragon family of Fengming Empire, entered Xiantian other courtyard, went to Xiantian Daozong, and took part in the battle of good and evil. How to meet all the brothers, Hong Yan, from the mortal world to the fairyland. In the face of his father, Long Chen can tell all his secrets without reservation and scruples. He doesn't even hide his identity as a 9-star descendant. Because Long Chen knows that his father has long been connected with his own destiny, and there is no so-called contamination cause and effect. If it is contamination, it is also contamination for a long time. Long Zhantian was silent and listened to the story of Long Chen. Suddenly Long Zhantian asked, "How is your grandfather?" Long Chen was stunned. He suddenly thought that he was talking too much and too disorderly. He was so illogical that he just mentioned it by the way. When Long Chen saw that a touch of uneasiness appeared on Long Zhantian's face, he immediately understood that even his father was afraid to see his future father-in-law. Long Chen said with a smile, "Grandfather, he is very good, and he is also very good to me." Really? Long Zhantian was overjoyed. At the beginning, Long Zhantian learned from Long Chen's mother that his future father-in-law was an extremely overbearing and unreasonable monster. He didn't know how to deal with it. He didn't expect that it had been solved. Long Chen hurried to Luo's home and was tested by his grandfather. At last, he handed the Luo's home to Long Chen and went to rescue the ancestors trapped in the space. He told his father about the situation one by one. When he learned that Luo Ningxuang was related to the future rise and fall of the Luo family, Long Zhantian finally understood why Luo Zichuan was so unreasonable. "Chainer, you have done very well." Long Chen patted Long Chen on the shoulder, with an excited face. Knowing that Long Chen helped Luo Zichuan open the door of space and complete the mission of the Luo family, Luo Ningxuang would no longer be a sinner. They could face the Luo family directly, and their heart knot would be healed without any medicine. That's what a son should do. Long Chen is in a hurry to make his father happy, which makes him feel very happy. Long Zhantian also heard Long Chen talk about the situation of Jiutian, about the disputes among the major ethnic groups, and the current situation of the human race. Long Zhantian has been locked up since he came up from the world. He doesn't know anything about the fairyland, but he can understand the world through the dragon dust. From all walks of life, Long Chen also fought all the way to fight against the strong of all ethnic groups. His perspective is very comprehensive. Moreover, Long Chen has read a lot of books about Jiutian. Basically, he can answer whatever he asks. As for his son's rich knowledge, Long Zhantian is also appreciative. He praises Long Chen from time to time to show his admiration for him. In this way, he has a general idea of the fairyland. "Dad, when I become the king of the world, let's go to find my mother. I miss her so much." I believe she missed me more. At this point, Long Chen's voice choked. Good boy, you can practice in peace of mind. You have more and more important things to do. You can find your mother and give it to your father. Long Zhantian patted Long Chen on the shoulder. Dad, you... Long Chen was surprised. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 4294. What? Look down on your father? Do you think your father is a semi-useless man now? Long Zhantian said with a smile. Child, dare not. Long Chen hurried. Long Zhantian comforted Long Chen with a smile and said, I'm joking. You don't have to be so nervous. Long Zhantian suddenly sighs. He looks into the distance and says, Chainer, do you know what is the most powerful force in the world? Long Chen was stunned. I don't know. Dragon Dust really doesn't know, because the cognition of power has been broken all the time. Sometimes he thinks that this is the strongest power. As a result, there will be stronger power. So far, he doesn't know what the most powerful power is. The most powerful force is nirvana. The dragon fights the way of heaven. The power of the phoenix family? Long Chen asked. No, nirvana is nirvana. It doesn't belong to any family. In this world, it's not only the Phoenix Society. What I call nirvana is not bowing to fate when it is difficult, not denying yourself when you are confused, not giving up hope in a desperate situation, and ushering in the dawn of your own in persistence. Long Zhantian looks at Long Chen and says, in fact, when I was in Tianwu continent, I met the same situation. At that time, I was cursed by evil spirits, lost all my accomplishments, and suffered in purgatory every moment. At that time, only your mother was by my side. She always encouraged me and firmly believed that I would survive. At that time, she wrote a poem for me, and because of that poem, I spent countless days and nights in the dragon family. The snow pressure on the branches is low. Although it can't touch the mud, once the sun rises, it's still the same as the sky. Once the sun is red, it's still the same as the sky. When Long Chen read this poem in a low voice, he could not help but feel a surge of emotion. Looking at his father, he was filled with admiration. Both his father and his mother were talented and gorgeous, proud of heaven and earth. Otherwise, he could not make such a bold poem. Chainer, remember your mother's poem. Life can't be smooth. If there are mountains, there must be valleys. When you are at a low ebb, don't be confused or panic. Try to persist and wait. Your red sun will surely appear. Long Zhantian to Long Chendao. Long Chen nodded. Such a magnificent poem, even if you want to forget, are difficult. Come on, Chainer, help Dad protect the Dharma. The dragon fights the way of heaven. Long Chen's heart beats wildly. He knows what his father is going to do. They came to a desolate valley, which still belongs to the boundary of the branch court, but the current branch court has not been rebuilt and the surrounding area is desolate. Long Zhantian opens a crystal bottle. The colorful blood in the crystal bottle flows out. When the colorful blood appears, the whole world is shaking. This colorful supreme blood, nourished by the chi of chaos, contains the energy of terror. Long Chen is full of worry. He knew that his father was going to take back his own blood essence, but the blood essence had been separated from his body for too long, and he was afraid that his father could not control it. Chen Air, don't worry, everything is under control. See Long Chen a face nervous appearance, Long Zhantian smile, signal Long Chen don't nervous. Buzz, at this time, the colorful supreme blood, which stayed on the void, first broke away from the shackles of the bottle and felt confused. All of a sudden, it fell on Long Zhantian. Long Zhantian's body trembled, and then his breath began to rise rapidly. Boom! There was a loud explosion in the Dragon War celestial body, as if something had been broken. Then 9 days roared and endless clouds gathered. Breakthrough! Dragon Dust is both surprised and happy. A bottle of colorful supreme blood directly makes Dragon Zhantian break through the shackles of divine fire and directly leads to the four-polar apocalypse. What makes Long Chen most unbelievable is that the violent colorful supreme blood returns to Long Zhantian's body without any resistance or any damage. Boom! The colorful thunder poured down, and what surprised Longchen was that the scope of Long Zanshin's natural disaster was even larger than that of his fourth-level situation. Buzz! Suddenly, the dragon as two peas, and the 7 swords, which were just like the dragon's dust, were just like the dragon's dust before. Boom! The 7-Ju sword in Long Zanshin's hand exudes immortality. With one sword, it is cut down against Tianjie, and the cloud of Jitianji collapses in an instant, turning into an endless thunder symbol. Buzz! All of a sudden, Long Zhantian made a seal with one hand, and there appeared a colorful divine light on the 9 days, which wrapped all the thunder like a huge net and wiped them out. The rune of thunder is like a torrent, pouring into Long Zanshin's body. At that moment, Long Zanshin's thin body becomes strong, and the whole person becomes vigorous. Thunder was absorbed by Long Zhantian, and his realm was instantly consolidated. Most importantly, he had just been promoted to quadrupole realm, but his breath didn't leak out at all. He didn't look like a person who had just advanced. His breath was even more frightening. As expected, Dad's essence and blood are nourished by chaos chi. Now he takes back the essence and blood, which means that he has already begun to use chaos chi to cultivate in Shenhua state, and his foundation is comparable to that of the strong in chaos era. Long Chen is excited, and his father is a blessing in disguise. It's no wonder that the calamity of the dragon fighting heaven is so terrible. It seems that the strong men of the chaotic era are really like the strong men of the dragon clan. Compared with them, Longchen is born in the wrong era. Dragon battle day and fusion of a bottle of colorful supreme blood, his body roaring, breath constantly breakthrough. 4 poles, 1 heavy sky, 2 heavy sky, 3 heavy sky. Unexpectedly broke through to 8 heavy sky, and then Long Zanshin opened a crystal bottle again. Boom! At that moment, heaven and earth trembled, and endless clouds covered the sky. Boom! As soon as the disaster appeared, the endless colorful thunder sword poured down and penetrated the void. Boom! Dragon Zhantian holds the 7-Ju sword and cuts it out with one sword again. The whole sky is torn and the endless plundering clouds are broken again. Then these thunder runes are absorbed by Dragon Zhantian obediently. But a few breaths, all over the sky thunder, absorbed by the dragon battle day, without a trace of waste. Long Chen is silly. He has seen the world before, but he has never seen such a way of robbing. Standing in the same place, Long Zanshin's eyes are closed, just like a statue, but with a look of arrogance, which makes people feel palpitating. Long Zhantian slowly breathes out his turbid breath. When he opens his eyes again, colorful patterns appear in his eyes. In the patterns, the sun and the moon echo each other, just like the evolution of 10,000 ways. Supreme heavenly pupil, Long Chen can't help exclaiming that his father has awakened the legendary god pupil. The supreme heaven pupil is even above the 6th heaven pupil. Long Chen can't believe his eyes. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 4295. In Long Zanshin's eyes, there are 7 color ripples. The ripples are in a distributed state, like a colorful vortex, which looks gorgeous and mysterious. This is the legendary Supreme Tian Tong. Longchen has seen it in ancient books, but today he has seen it with his own eyes, and it's still in his father's body. In the eyes of the dragon fighting against the sky, the colorful divine light twinkles, as if it can penetrate the opportunity of heaven and earth, such as the god overlooking heaven and earth. Chainer, the next thing is the immortal king's robbery. You and Dad will go through the robbery together. The dragon fights the way of heaven. Dad. Long Chen was surprised. Don't worry, everything is under control. Long Zhantian said with a smile. Good. Seeing that Long Zhantian said so, Long Chen came to Long Zhantian. Long Zhantian patted Long Chen on the shoulder. Father and son looked at each other and laughed. Long Zhantian absorbed more than 10 bottles of colorful supreme blood in succession, and his realm rose step by step, breaking through to the realm of immortal king almost in an instant. Boom! Tianjie trembles and Jiutian changes color. This time, It is different from the previous cloud. The cloud in the sky is colorful. From a distance, it looks like a huge color whirlpool, which is very similar to the pattern in Longzhan Tianmo. Dad, do you know what your next disaster will be like? Long Chen was shocked. Long Zhantian looked at Long Chen and said with a smile, "If you can calm down, you can too. This is a kind of perception. Although there will be deviations, the difference will not be too far." How can we feel the disaster? This subverts the cognition of Long Chen. A person can feel good or bad by focusing on everything. This is the special power formed by the existence of the human race in the cracks. Without this kind of perception, the human race would have perished long ago. However, as the Terran becomes powerful, the perception power of the Terran degenerates. Many people found this problem and began to practice the art of perception. All kinds of natural arithmetic, geomantic omen divination, 5 elements and so on are branches of the art of perception. It's just that the perception power of the human race has been degenerating. People can only deduce future changes through observation and calculation. The dragon fights the way of heaven. It's a pity that I can only perceive some dangers, and the danger is very close to me. As for the others, I can't perceive anything. Long Chen said with a bitter smile. Don't be envious and don't force yourself to learn. Some things can't come. The biggest concern in my heart is you and your mother. Now you are by my side, and your mother will not be in any danger. Only in this way can my heart settle down. But you are different. You have too many thoughts in your heart and too many controlling forces, which makes it difficult for you to concentrate on one thing. When I ask you to join me in the robbery, I want to use the power of heaven to awaken your colorful blood. The dragon fights the way of heaven. Haven't my colorful blood been awakened yet? Long Chen is in a daze. The whole dragon family is a bunch of idiots. They think that if they nourish themselves with chaos chi and the law of heaven, they can control the colorful blood. In fact, the 7-color supreme blood is one of the strongest blood of the human race. It is envied by the way of heaven. How can it wake up easily? Long Zhantian smiles a little, with a touch of irony in the corner of his mouth. It's obvious that the dragon family doesn't know the real supreme blood at all. Boom! At this time, 9 days above, colorful thunder roared down, turned into a sword, stabbed at the two. Boom boom. Dragon Zanshan's colorful lights appear, and those colorful thunderbolts collide with them and burst into pieces one after another, turning into thunderbolt runes. But Long Chen let the colorful sword stab his body, which can almost kill the murderer directly, but it's like tickling in front of Long Chen. Your body is really terrible. Long Zhantian sighs when he looks at those thunder swords stabbing at Long Chen. This colorful blade contains the power of the law of terror. He needs to support the supreme blood shield to resist, but Long Chen doesn't care at all. Boom boom. With the passage of time, more and more colorful sword, more and more strong, sharp gas, all tear the void. At the beginning, thunder contains certain impurities, and it's meaningless to absorb them. After a while, the power of Thunder Sword will become more and more pure. At that time, you and I don't want to resist. Let the Thunder Sword pierce into our bodies. I will take the natural disaster as the carrier and pass on all my feelings about the colorful blood to you. Your father has been locked up for so many years. He has no time to do anything else. He has been studying the colorful blood. He has nothing to give you. This is the first gift for you. A smile appeared at the corner of his mouth. Boom boom. As time goes on, the colorful sword becomes sharper and stronger. The shield of Dragon Zhantian gradually becomes unbearable. Some thunder swords begin to pierce his shield and his body. However, Long Zanshan's face is always the same. His thunder shield is used to test the power of thunder. He has to observe the fire. But those thunder swords can pierce the shield of Dragon Zhantian, but they still can't hurt the dragon dust, even the skin. Long Chen didn't do any defense, but these sharp swords hit Long Chen's skin, but they broke one after another, unable to pierce Long Chen's skin. However, Long Chen can feel a little pain, just like sand on the skin. He can feel it, but he can't hurt. Dad. Long Chen is embarrassed by Long Zhantian. Now his body is too strong. This kind of powerful thunder can't hurt him at all. Long Zhantian looked at Long Chen all the time and said with a smile, "Don't be afraid, everything is under control. However, your body is beyond my expectation. In the dragon family, I have been thinking of a big move, but because of the limitation of the body, I don't think I have any hope to try it in my life. Now I feel that my move is tailor-made for you. Good boy, I'm really worthy of being the son of Long Zhantian." Ha! Long Zhantian laughs like thunder and is full of surprises. Long Chen's body is more terrifying than he expected. Chi-chi. Just as they were talking, the cloud of 9 days was shrinking slowly. The huge colorful blade was shrinking rapidly. The shrinking blade finally pierced Long Chen's body, and the colorful thunder began to rush into Long Chen's body. Buzz, when the colorful thunder light rushes into Long Chen's body, the colorful supreme blood in Long Chen's body boils up. Chainer, hold Yuan Shui, concentrate on calming Qi, and introduce the supreme blood into Ling Tai. At this time, Long Zhantian opened his mouth, his face was serious, and his hands quickly sealed. Buzz, at the moment when he made the seal, a colorful light rushed to the sky above the head of Long Zhantian. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 4296 Boom. Above the head of the dragon fighting sky, the colorful divine light goes straight into the sky with endless blood. When the colorful divine brilliance shrouded the sky, a frightening scene appeared. The whole sky suddenly trembled and seemed to be controlled by some force. Buzz, 9 days above, colorful whirlpool flow, a pillar of light straight down, a moment will be shrouded in dragon dust. If people see this scene, they will be shocked, because at this time, Jiyun is branded with the soul. The brand is Dragon Zhantian, and Dragon Zhantian controls Tianjia. At the moment when the colorful pillar of light enveloped the dragon dust, the boiling colorful supreme blood in the dragon dust broke out in an instant. His whole body was wrapped by the colorful divine light, and his violent breath swept all over the world. Boom boom. The chi and blood of the dragon dust is ignited, and the terrible ripples sweep all over the sky. The surrounding mountains burst into pieces, and the colorful ripples constantly wash the heaven and earth. At that moment, the dragon dust is like a dormant wild dragon reviving, engulfing the mountains and rivers. And Long Chen always closed his eyes, has been in a settled state, at a loss do not know what happened outside. Buzz. Dragon Zhantian's colorful divine radiance is constantly injected into the Tianjia. After the transformation of Tianjia, it is slowly injected into Long Chen's body. Then there are 7 colored runes flying out of Long Zhantian, and they are slowly injected into Long Chen's body through Tianjia. Suddenly, the dragon as 2 peas stood up, and at the moment of the dragon war station, the dragon dust stood up. The movements of the 2 men were exactly the same. There is a happy smile on Long Zhantian's face. He is connected with Long Chen's blood. Only in this way can he teach his runes to Long Chen. Buzz, Long Zhantian's big hand opens and a colorful sword appears. With his action, a colorful sword also appears in Long Chen's hand. Boom! At the same time, Long Zhantian and Long Chen cut down their swords and split the void. The earth was cut out of 2 deep trenches. However, Long Zhantian frowned, because the ditch he cut was as smooth as a mirror, while the ditch cut by Long Chen was uneven. Chainer's physical strength is too strong, which leads him to rely too little on blood, so it is more difficult to control. After Long Zhantian mumbles to himself, his sword suddenly changes into a colorful spear, stabs at the void, and then turns into a colorful shield. Boom boom. Long Zhantian makes continuous moves, and his blood turns into various weapons and attacks. Long Chen is like a shadow. He does whatever Long Zhantian does. Although it's impossible to achieve micro-level control, it's enough. Long Zhantian has a happy smile on his face. All these moves were realized by him during his imprisonment. Now he teaches them to Long Chen directly through Tianjia. Long Zhantian looks up at Tianjia and finds that the power of Tianjia has withered, and the robbery is about to be completed. Long Zhantian suddenly closes his eyes. When he opens his eyes again, colorful lights appear in his eyes, and the Supreme Tiantong is summoned. In the moment he opened his eyes, Longchen also opened his eyes. In Longchen's eyes, the colorful pattern also appeared, but as soon as the colorful pattern appeared, it was submerged by endless darkness. Long Zhantian exclaimed, his eyes were sore, and blood flowed out along his eyes. "Dad, what's the matter with you?" At this time, Long Chen has woken up from entering Ding. He is shocked to see his father's eyes bleeding. "It's okay. It's okay." Long Zhantian quickly waved his hand to indicate that Long Chen should not be nervous. At this time, Jiutian Cloud has disappeared. Long Zhanshan's face is pale and his breath is weak, but he is already a strong immortal. "Chainer, Dad wants to try to teach you the Supreme Tiantong, but your Purgatory Eye is too overbearing to allow me to do so. But it also proves that Purgatory Eye is more terrifying than Supreme Tiantong, which is a good thing. The dragon fights the way of heaven." With these words, Long Zhantian takes out a piece of black cloth. Long Chen quickly takes it over and covers Long Zhanshan's eyes. At the same time, Long Chen takes a healing pill for Long Zhantian. "Chainer, your fortune is amazing and your future is limitless. Having a son like you is the greatest pride of my father's life." Long Zhantian stroked Long Chen's cheek with a smile on his face. "Dad, this is..." Long Chen was surprised. "Dad is very happy to be reunited with you, but Dad has something important to do, so he can't accompany you anymore. The dragon fights the way of heaven." "Dad, are you leaving now?" Dragon dust trembles. Long Zhantian nodded and said, "My father misses your mother very much. I don't know how she is now. My father wants to find him." Long Chen nodded. He knew that his father must go to his mother, but he didn't expect that so soon. "Dad, you are hurt now. Why don't you?" Long Chen tries to keep his father. Long Zhantian said with a smile, "This injury is nothing, it's just that you can't use the Supreme Pupil for the time being. The Supreme Heavenly Pupil has just awakened. I don't know how to use it. It's no different with it or without it. As for me now, although I've just been promoted to the Immortal King, my strength..." Chi, all of a sudden, Long Zhanshan's fingers flicked, and a colorful divine light shot out. The void was shot out of a big hole by the colorful divine light. With one hit, it could break through the space barrier. Dragon Dust was startled, although he can also break through the space barrier, but that must be in the full burst of time, can do. Long Zhantian, however, is not in a fighting state at this time. He can have such terrible power with a simple blow. It's just like Yu Zaifeng's blow. If his father wants to kill him, he doesn't even have the chance to fight back at such a distance. "Are you relieved this time? Although I don't have as many cards as you, I still have a certain confidence in the colorful Supreme Blood after operating for so many years. In addition, my colorful vision is rooted in chaos. Once I cross the world, chaos will be born. I'm ahead of you in this regard." Long Zhantian said with a smile, "I think it's better to wait until you have absorbed all the essence and blood and then leave. It will be safer." Long Chen rode. Long Zhantian shook his head and said, "I don't want to go with you to Nirvana. You and I may be too big. After one person goes through the robbery, the law of heaven may fluctuate violently and affect another person. You are ready to rob now. Dad advises you to rob as soon as you are ready, so as not to draw too much chaotic chi from others and affect you." Long Chen nodded, but his eyes were still full of sadness. Long Zhantian patted Long Chen on the shoulder and said, "Chainer, you have a lot of treasures, but now you don't know how to open them. You have gold mines, but you live a hard life all day. But I believe you, and you'll soon find the key to the treasure. When Dad leaves, we are all men. Don't be a daughter. When Dad finds your mother, he will come to see you for the first time." Long Chen bit his lips and nodded. Although he was a hero in the eyes of others, he was just an ordinary child. Facing his father who had just met but was far away from him, he was very sad. The branches are low under the pressure of snow, though they are not muddy. As soon as the sun rises, it is still the same as the sky. Long Zhantian left without dragging his feet. When his back disappeared, his voice echoed between heaven and earth. www.novelhold. Audiobook.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 4297. Long Zhantian left, and Long Chen was disappointed. Father and son had no chance to speak well, so they separated. Long Chen is sad in his heart, but he knows that his father is worried about his mother in his heart and has to leave. Compared with Long Chen, Long Zhantian was more worried about his wife, so he left even though he was very upset. See? This is the gap. Your father just started to merge the chaos in the divine fire realm. He has not really taken root in the 10,000 ways, and has not condensed the chaos vision. Now you know how strong those creatures behind the door are. The voice of the dragon strongman echoed in Long Chen's mind. Long Chen nodded. I admit that they must be very powerful, but I don't believe that those creatures are stronger than my father. My father is the real genius. I have to admit that both your father and your grandfather are really cruel people. They are extremely intelligent and know how to endure. We have already planned our future and are full of confidence. It's you. I'm surprised. Why are you so irritable? Your father has been forbearing for so many years, just waiting for an opportunity. His patience is amazing. You don't inherit your father at all. If your character is inherited from your mother, your grandfather has been working hard for countless years, planning strategies and winning thousands of miles. He has the same wisdom. If you have half of your father or half of your grandfather, no, even 1/10, it's definitely more than the present achievement. The dragon strongman sighed. Long Chen laughs bitterly. Both grandfather and father are real big men. Their boldness is far beyond his ability. If the place is changed, his wife and children are separated, his brother is killed, and he is locked up for such a long time without other people's hands, Long Chen will be very angry. My temper may have something to do with dragon blood refining. Long Chen stall. Go away, my dragon character is very easygoing. As long as others don't touch our scales, everything is easy to say. In addition, we, the dragon family, are the head of scales and the emperor of beasts. Our wisdom is the highest among beasts, not inferior to yours. Who is like you? Once you get angry, it's like a dog eating your brain. You can do anything stupid. The strong people of the dragon nationality are not well behaved. Obviously, they despise Long Chen for slandering the dragon nationality. Master, I'm going to prepare for the robbery. My father told me to hurry up. Long Chen rode. If you're not busy first, the chaos of nirvana is still rising, the rules are still improving, and it's not the best time to survive. Your father gave you a big gift. You should digest it slowly. If you digest the gift from your father, you will enter the coagulation stage directly. Before, I had been thinking about how to make your colorful blood wake up completely. As a result, your father helped you finish it directly, saving us a lot of effort. After blood coagulation is completed, it begins to change tendons, forge bones, and dredge veins. When the body fits to a certain extent, it can survive. With the help of the power of heaven, let the colorful supreme blood, purple blood, dragon blood supreme bone and your strange spirit root completely merge. Therefore, your rescue will be very critical, and the difficulty will exceed your imagination. You need to be prepared. The voice of the dragon strongman became serious. Yes, but I'm confident. Long Chen holds his fist. Now that his father is back, he is more confident. No matter how difficult he is not afraid. When Long Chen returns to Lingshao Academy, Xia Chen is training the array cooperation of dragon blood soldiers. Because many dragon blood soldiers have just returned, they still need to rehearse their formation and make reasonable deployment. But Guo Ran has already begun to close the door. He promised to dragon blood soldiers, each to build a set of armor and weapons. Because the dragon blood soldiers can summon the dragon blood battle body, the battle armor is not anxious to fight, but the weapons must keep up. However, Guo Ran is also a little upset these days. After seeing the power of immortal magic weapon, he feels that the top boundary artifact in his hand is no longer fragrant. But if he wants to build an immortal magic weapon, first of all, he doesn't have the technology, second, he doesn't have the strength, third, he doesn't have the material. He has been closed for several days, and he doesn't know what he's doing. The dragon dust called the dragon blood soldiers together and directly divided each one into a supreme heavenly fruit. On each heavenly fruit, there are 3 color patterns, all of which are the supreme heavenly fruit. In this war, Long Chen didn't know how many 3 extreme heavenly pride he killed. The fruit trees on the way of heaven were full of fruit, and a lot of fruit trees had fallen under them. There are tens of thousands of the supreme fruits of heaven. The dragon dust directly asks the dragon blood soldiers to choose according to their own needs. Because different colors represent different talents, it is very important to choose their own attributes. Before the king's assembly, most of the original 2000 dragon blood warriors were bipolar supreme, while many of the later dragon blood warriors did not awaken to the supreme. Now, after obtaining the fruits of heaven, these dragon blood soldiers are very excited, and Long Chen is even more excited, because he knows that a supreme dragon blood army will soon appear. The dragon blood soldiers immediately closed the door after they got the Tiandaguguo, and even Xia Chen chose a Tiandaguguo with a surprising degree of fit. Because Xia Chen is a mage of the array, the power of soul and spirit is the most important. Xia Chen finds that there is a fruit of heaven, which has amazing power. He is immediately moved and takes it away. In addition to Gu Yang, Li Qi, Song Mingyuan and Yu Zifeng, all the dragon blood soldiers got their favorite fruits of heaven. Long Chen directly interrupts Guo Ran's seclusion, only to find that the boy is not seclused at all, but is drawing a picture, which is not a rune, but a map. Long Chen has a look and knows that this guy is studying some mineral deposits in the purple sun. Obviously, this guy is going to rob the casting materials. Hey, boss, I don't mean anything else. I want to calculate the output of their veins, and then calculate how many materials they can have. How many resources are needed to meet my needs of arming the dragon blood core? Let's see if we have enough money in our hands. Guo Ran was seen through the mind, immediately some embarrassed smile. Okay, don't worry. You have to be hard to forge iron. First, improve yourself, and then study the rest slowly. Long Chen doesn't expose him either. He directly asks him to choose one from tens of thousands of Tiandao fruits. As a result, this guy's eyes shine and he falls in love with one. What power is this? Long Chen looked at the strange grain on the Tiandao fruit and couldn't help but be stunned. He didn't know what attribute it was. I don't know, but my feeling tells me that it suits me best. Guo Ran holds the fruit of the heavenly way with an excited face. Long Chen nods and doesn't say much, which makes Guo Ran shut up and absorb the fruits of heaven. Then he doesn't disturb him anymore and leaves directly. Elder Martial Brother Long Chen, someone is looking for you. As soon as Long Chen came out of Guo Ran, some disciples of the academy came to summon him. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 4298, Uncle Wen. When he saw someone coming, Long Chen could not help but be surprised. That person was not someone else, but his own uncle. Uncle? You kid, it's hard for us to keep it from you. Luo Changwen looks at Long Chen and says with a bitter smile. You know that? I know. Dad told us everything. Long Chen, you are so good. Luo Changwen said with admiration. Obviously Luo Changwen knew everything, and just because of this, he was full of praise for Long Chen. In the past, he thought that Long Chen was intelligent and brave, and he liked it very much. Unexpectedly, Long Chen was his own nephew. How is your grandfather? Long Chen is in a hurry. Last time in 3000 World, Long Chen helped Luo Zichuan open the space channel. Because 3000 World was about to close, he had to leave, and he didn't know what happened behind. Everything is fine with him. The most important thing is that we purple blood people now have our own territory. Now the Luo family is no longer the Luo family we used to be. Luo Changwen is excited. That Luo family disciple. Long Chen asks away. All the disciples of the Luo family were transferred. Because they wanted to keep secret, they didn't inform Luo Bing, Luo Ning and other disciples of the Luo family. This is not, in order not to let you worry, my father sent me to find you, but did not expect that you are a new generation of Holy King. Luo Changwen looks at Long Chen with a look of admiration. Luo Changwen came all the way, His ears were full of discussions about the Holy King's assembly, and what he heard most was about the dragon dust. Along the way, countless people have passed on the myth of dragon dust. One person crushed the pride of all ethnic groups, cutting the pride like chopping melons and vegetables, crushed the enemy of fate in the most direct and overbearing way, and regained his glory. In short, along the way, as long as someone discusses the Holy King assembly, it must be around the dragon dust. Today's dragon dust has become the focus of the whole human race. Having a nephew like Longchen, Luo Changwen is very proud. Now he is still excited to see Longchen. Where is he now, grandfather? Uncle, your accomplishments. Longchen noticed that Luo Changwen's breath was very obscure. Until now, Longchen realized that Luo Changwen was already a heaven-class strong man. We are now in the world opened up by our ancestors, where there is the totem spirit of purple blood. After our purple blood is awakened, our strength has increased dramatically. In that world, our ancestors of purple blood are still alive. They are powerful and are trying to get through the channel linking Nirvana. My father is worried about your situation. He will send me out to see you first, and let me tell you that if you meet an incomparable enemy, you should hide first, and we will settle accounts with them as soon as the passage opens. Luo Changwen said. After listening to Luo Changwen's words, Longchen feels warm, and his grandfather still remembers him. It's great to see that you're okay, but I heard that you've offended countless strong people at the Holy King's meeting. Recently, you should keep a low profile. As for the matter of the dragon family, you can take it easy and wait for the passage to break through. My father will come in person. Let's go to the dragon family and find a way to save my brother-in-law. Luo Changwen said. Longchen said with a smile, the matter of the Long family has been solved. It's a pity that you're a little late, uncle. Otherwise you can see my father. Brother-in-law, he was rescued? Luo Changwen was surprised. Longchen briefly explains how to force the dragon family to release people when he goes to the dragon family with the support of the Lord. When learning that Long Zhantian is back, Luo Changwen pats his thigh and scolds why he can't be faster. He and his brother-in-law miss it. My father is eager to find my mother. I believe it won't be long before we can have a family reunion. Longchen said with a smile. Yes, that would be great. Little sister, she has been alone for so many years. Ah. Forget it. It's all gone. It will be better and better in the future. Luo Changwen said with a smile. Uncle, is that what you came to me for? Longchen asked. Yes, Dad is worried about you. He said that you are quick-tempered. Although you have both wisdom and courage, once you touch the scales, you will be impulsive and easy to suffer big losses. Now the Luo family is not what it used to be. They have enough strength to protect you. There's no need to let you fight like that anymore. So, send me to see if you have any big moves. It's better to wait. Luo Changwen said. Longchen was a little embarrassed when he heard that, but his grandfather was as smart as a torch. At a glance, he saw through his character, which was basically consistent with the evaluation of the strong dragon people. Do we have immortal class in Luo family? Longchen asks tentatively. Isn't your grandfather? Luo Changwen said with a smile. What? Longchen was startled. However, if Luo Changwen can advance to heaven, his grandfather must be stronger. Dad, if it wasn't for the lack of chaos in the small world, he would have begun to impact immortality, so it's urgent to open the channel. Just before opening the channel, Dad was worried about you, so he sent me out first to inform you. At the beginning, he opened the channel of Ming Haoyan and took the disciples of Luo family to enter the purple blood world. Because it was a one-way channel, it was very simple. But here is Ninefold. If you want to open up an exit here, you need to spend a certain amount of effort. Fortunately, there are many strong ancestors in our purple blood clan. I believe it won't be long before we can get through. At that time, chaos will flow into the purple blood world, and Tianjiao disciples of your generation can directly attack the king of the world. Luo Changwu is excited. They haven't attacked the king yet? Longchen asked. No, my father and ancestors don't want them to be promoted too early. They have been waiting for their opportunities. We old folks, on the contrary, have no restrictions. Luo Changwen said. That's great. Longchen is very happy. But Luo Changwen was stunned. Longchen directly poured out the countless heavenly fruits in the chaotic space. When he saw these heavenly fruits, Luo Changwen was shocked. This. He stammered and couldn't believe his eyes. He knew that Longchen's Tiandaguguo was a treasure of the anti-heaven level, and he also knew the nature of Tiandaguguo. When he saw the 3 color patterns of Tiandaguguo, he was shocked, because he thought of a name, the 3rd level supreme. Uncle, I won't leave you. Take these fruits and go back quickly to give them to your brothers and sisters. They take it now, just in time for the outbreak of chaos, and the law of heaven is becoming more and more complete. The pride of the Luo family will go to a higher level. Dragon Dust Excited Tunnel. For the Luo family, Longchen has absolute trust. Just now Longchen was worried about how to deal with so many things left in the way of heaven. You can't give away these things that can't be seen. You can't make a big deal. But it's no problem to give it to Luo's family. Luo's family are all based on purple blood. They can control all kinds of properties and take Tiandaguguo, which has all kinds of benefits but no harm. Well, I'll go back now. Luo Changwen knows what these heavenly fruits mean. The disciples of the Luo family are going to soar to the sky. There are tens of thousands of supreme heavenly fruits alone, and there are not many bipolar supreme and ordinary supreme heavenly fruits. These heavenly fruits will completely change the fate of the new generation of disciples of the Luo family and the whole Luo family. Luo Changwen takes away the precious and important land of heaven and tells Longchen to be careful and not to take any risks. He waits for the Luo family to open the passageway. When Longchen nods, he leaves at ease. After Luo Changwen left, Longchen also thought about it. After Tiandaguo's hot potato had been tossed about, Longchen began to shut down. He was ready to start practicing boldly according to the idea of the strong dragon. Buzz, in the Chamber of Secrets, Longchen holds a divine bone the size of little finger belly and presses it on his chest. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 4299, Buzz, Longchen's whole body glows. The supreme bone enters Longchen's body and stays in its original position. At that moment, Longchen's whole body skeleton trembles. Kaka. A small bone seems to contain the power of the universe, which makes the skeleton of Longchen crackle and crack. Longchen is in great pain, but he is biting his teeth, trying to keep himself awake and carefully watching the changes of his bones. The process of blood coagulation was directly completed by his father, which not only helped him completely activate the supreme blood, but also taught him all his feelings about the supreme blood. Dragon Zhantian created the 7 colors of the supreme blood of the immortal Dharma and divinity, which are branded in the body of Longchen in the form of runes. What Longzhanshan has mastered is given to Longchen without any reservation. However, as for the supreme bone, Longchen needs to explore it by himself. This is a road that no one has ever walked. The strong dragon people just helped Longchen come up with an idea. Whether it can work or not depends on Longchen himself. Kaka. After Longchen's bone cracked, it began to break. The sharp pain made Longchen's eyes dazzled. He almost fainted. The pain of the broken bone was beyond description. Even Longchen felt that he could not bear it. The dragon family is really powerful. It seems that they spend the most resources on the supreme bone. They also know how to spend money on the blade. Dragon Strong Way, it has been paying attention to the dragon dust side of the movement. How can this supreme bone possess such terrible power? Long Chentong's face is deformed, gnashing his teeth. This supreme bone is not an ordinary supreme bone, otherwise you father and son would not be so envied and ill-fated. The dragon strongman sighed. Ah! All of a sudden, Long Chen's whole body is stiff. Finally, he can't help but scream. His bones are crushed by the supreme bone. Long Chen is paralyzed on the ground like mud. Don't move is the strong way of the dragon people. Long Chen trembled with pain and wanted to roll on the ground. However, he kept a little calm. Hearing what the strong dragon said, he could not help gritting his teeth. I can't move even if I want to. Buzz, at this time, the supreme bone in front of Longchen's chest glows, and a milky silk thread spreads out from it, just like the water flowing from the river embankment, slowly pouring into Longchen's four limbs. Don't move. The supreme bone is helping you to shape the bone and change the marrow. Now it is in a critical state. Any change will cause irreparable influence. The dragon strong are serious. Longchen's whole body is in great pain. Just now, his bones were crushed. Now, it's like magma flowing in his bone marrow. That kind of taste makes life worse than death. But Longchen didn't dare to move. He thought he was dead and let the milky energy slowly penetrate all the bones of his body. The sharp pain has made Longchen forget the speed of time. I don't know how long it took. The milky silk thread finally ran through the skeleton of Longchen's whole body. Hold the grass, come again. Longchen's whole body was tense again. Just now it was broken. Now these bones are beginning to recover. When they recover, they are also in great pain. The broken bones of Longchen are splicing. There are many cracks on the broken bones. The milky energy is repairing those cracks. Although the cracks are stitched together, there are many lines left on them, which are like indelible scars that cannot be repaired. When the bone was repaired to a certain extent, Longchen finally breathed a sigh of relief. The pain finally disappeared, and Longchen was sweating through his heavy clothes. Kaka kaka. At this time, the supreme bone of Longchen glows. Once again, Longchen's whole body is tense, and the sharp pain sweeps across the whole body again. Come back, Longchen is crazy. The bone that has just been repaired is crushed again by the power of the supreme bone, and then repaired again. A total of 9 times over and over again. When the 9th repair, Longchen finally cannot hold, fainted in the past. Don't know how long, Longchen finally wake up Longchen, the first time launched the internal vision. Longchen was shocked to find that his bones were no longer pure white, but there were dense lines on them. Every grain is emitting strange waves and seems to have endless energy. Bone pattern? Dragon Dust was shocked. Bone patterns usually only appear on demons, beasts, demons, and other races. Bone patterns are a way of inheritance. When they reach a certain level, they will naturally awaken their supernatural powers. Because these races have no words, they can only rely on this way to inherit. However, few people in the human race have bone lines. Even if they have, they use external force to depict the magic power on the bones in the form of inscriptions, so as to stimulate the skills of art and war more quickly. It's a bit similar to Guaran's armor, but Guaran engraved the rune outside, while some people engraved the rune inside. But the lines on Longchen's bones are not arrays or runes. They are endless and irregular. They are intertwined with each other, dense and endless. They seem to be in a mess, and they seem to be arranged in a strange order, which is incomprehensible. These lines are the scars of my broken bones. There seems to be something hidden in the disorder, but I don't seem to feel anything. Longchen looks at his bone and clenches his fist. It seems that the strength has not increased, and there is no change in chi and blood, and the supreme bone returning from the chest is also silent, and seems to be sleeping in the past. Try to cut your finger with a knife. The dragon people are strong. No, I'm not stupid enough to chop my fingers to test the strength of the bone. Longchen refused on the spot. This joke is not funny at all. Fool, if you want to try, you can try. Dragon strong impatient tunnel. Hearing the tone of the dragon strongman, Longchen doesn't seem to be joking. He hesitates for a moment, takes out a sharp sort of boundary level, hesitates for a moment, and cuts it off to his own finger. Bang! As a result, Longchen's fingers were shocked, and even his skin was not cut, but his sword was bounced away. What are you playing with? For the immortal soldier. The strong of the dragon race have no good manners. Longchen has no choice but to take out an immortal tomahawk from the battlefield. However, looking at the sharp tomahawk in his fingers, Longchen looks strange. My body is full of skin and my parents. Don't talk nonsense now. I didn't ask you to really chop your hands. Your bones are strange. I can't understand it. You have to chop your bones to try your reaction. If you're afraid of cutting your fingers off, you can directly chop your head with an axe. The dragon people are strong. Forget it, I'd better chop my hands. Long Chen didn't follow the advice of the strong dragon, so he chose to chop his hands. Bang! The axe cuts on the finger, a dull sound. Half-step immortal level magic soldier is really sharp, Long Chen's finger instantly bleeding. Can you make some effort? It's on the tendons. Now your tendons are dragon tendons. With such strength, you can't touch the bones at all. The strong of the dragon people were angry and scolded. Being scolded by the dragon strongman, the dragon dust's anger also came up. Holding a battle axe, he chopped at the wound again. Boom! At the moment when the blade of the axe touched the phalanx, the dense lines on the bones of Long Chen's body lit up. Then Long Chen's big hand with the axe was shocked, and the axe flew out of his hand, piercing a big hole in the top of the chamber. Good guy. At that moment, Long Chen was silly. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 4300. The tomahawk was shaken away, but Long Chen's phalanx was only cut out with a white mark. With the circulation of the lines on the bone, it disappeared in an instant, as if nothing had happened. And Long Chen's wound just appeared and healed quickly. Even the colorful blood flowed back. That's too strong. Long Chen was surprised and happy. His face was full of disbelief. His bones were as good as immortal artifacts. Your bones are strengthened by the supreme bone. Those irregular lines are actually an array. It's just that this array is too complicated. No one can see it clearly. Just now, when the axe struck on the bone, your supreme bone became clear. Then the whole body bone lights up, and I catch a stream of energy flowing to your fingers along the supreme bone. It's just that everything came so fast that I didn't see which route, but I'm sure that the power you see now is just the tip of the iceberg of the supreme bone. The dragon strongman sighed. As powerful as he is, he can't find out the details of the supreme bone. His understanding of the supreme bone is not even superficial. I'm a genius in heaven. Now that the supreme bone is back, I'll fight against the immortal magic soldiers with my bare hands and scare those strong people in the alien world to death. Long Chen laughs and gets excited. With the return of the supreme bone, Long Chen felt more powerful than ever. Although he didn't know how to drive the supreme bone, the passive defense of the supreme bone alone was enough to make him fearless of any damage. Bone is comparable to immortal magic weapon and supported by endless vitality in chaotic space. He is almost immortal. If he can have the strength at the time of the Holy King's meeting, even if there is no one to help him, he can sweep the strong enemy. Even if he can't kill them, he can also kill them. Well, don't be complacent. The supreme bone has just been activated. I don't know how to use it. Blood coagulation is finished, bone forging is finished, tendon changing is finished for you. Now it's time to open the pulse and gather chi. The dragon people are strong. Well, let's get together first? Long Chen asked. Yes, Long Chen nodded. Convergence mind. In his dantian, there is a group of root gas. It is his spirit root. Ling Zhen burns like a flame, sending out strange waves. With his waves, Long Chen seems to feel the breath of heaven and earth, and its rhythm is the same as that of the world. It's just that Long Chen doesn't know what's the secret of this rhythm. If it's someone else, the spirit root takes root in the elixir field. This group of root qi is a person's primitive qi, which is related to his talent. Long Chen has also asked Ming Qi, Chu Yao and others, but they can't explain Ling Zhen. They only know that Ling Zhen will produce strange fluctuations when they break through the realm and feel the way of heaven. As for what it can bring to them, it's not clear. Ling Zhen is extremely mysterious. People only know that Ling Zhen is a person's tentacle connecting the whole world. It is also a person's wisdom foundation, which plays a decisive role in the future of practitioners. But what is the specific role? Even though Long Chen has searched all the ancient books, he has not found an accurate answer, so the explanation is very vague and specious. Even some sages have their own views and insights, so there is no precise definition of Ling Zhen. Because Longchen has no dantian, this mass of root qi has been floating above Longchen's dantian since it was collected, and below it is Xinghai. Buzz, dragon dust heart read a move, that regiment root gas, so sink into the sea of stars, dragon dust a bite hand seal. Boom! 108,000 stars trembled, and each star sent out a divine light, which went straight to the root qi. Buzz, the root qi trembled and suddenly expanded rapidly. Then the flame-like light in the root qi suddenly poured into 18,000 stars. Boom boom. As the sea poured into the river field, the breath of 18,000 stars of dragon dust soared rapidly, and each star was ignited. Kaka kaka. A crack suddenly appeared in the 18,000 stars, and the dragon dust and the dragon family strongman exclaimed at the same time, "Not good." "Stop it now," the dragon strongman said. "I can't stop." Dragon dust exclaimed. He found that the root gas has been out of his control. The stars are going to explode. Longchen screams in horror. If the 18,000 stars explode, his whole body will be blown to pieces. Buzz, just when Longchen thought it was going to be finished, suddenly the strange light enveloped Longchen. Holy Wang Shenhui? Dragon dust is both surprised and happy, and Holy Wang Shenhui appears. The star that dragon dust is about to explode is nourished by this strange power, and gradually becomes stable. Hoo-hoo! Then, a small flame appeared on every star. When they saw the small flame, Longchen and the strong members of the dragon clan cheered. It's a success. It's a crazy idea that Longchen integrates Lingzhen into the sea of stars. Both Longchen and the strong men of the dragon clan know it. There will be many difficulties in this. If one can't do it well, he will die. But I didn't expect that with the help of Xingwang Shenhui, I succeeded directly. The spiritual roots were rooted in 18,000 stars, that is to say, there were 18,000 spiritual roots after Longchen. Although the Lingzhen is divided into so many pieces, it suddenly becomes extremely weak, almost unable to sense their existence, but Longchen knows that as long as they are cultivated, Longchen will be hundreds of thousands of times stronger than ordinary people. The success of qi gathering has excited both Longchen and the dragon strongman. For the first time in his life, Longchen feels lucky and lucky. Looking at the spiritual roots like candle fire on the stars, Longchen is full of expectation. The next step is to pass the pulse. Take advantage of luck and do it in one go. The strong of the dragon people say that iron should be struck while it is hot. Longchen nodded, his hands sealed, and the purple blood hidden in his body rushed to all the meridians of his body in an instant. Buzz, when the meridians are injected with purple blood, the meridians do not have any rejection and absorb the purple blood crazily. The runes are condensed in the meridians, forming a tough vein. The vein of dragon dust hasn't widened, but its strength and toughness are improving. If the veins of dragon dust were made of straw before, now they are made of immortal gold. There is a big difference between the two. Haha, I'm so lucky that it's so simple. Haha, such a powerful vein, no matter how powerful it is, can't cause any burden to me. The pulse was so smooth that it was completed directly. Longchen laughed excitedly. In the past, when he used to make a big move, he had to first consider the bearing capacity of the meridians, because if he couldn't do it well, his body couldn't bear it before he hurt anyone. Now Zixitangma, Longchen feel, even if the whole body strength, concentrated into a move burst, meridians can easily bear. That kind of feeling let Longchen excitedly roar. Good. Next, I have another bold idea. How about it? Would you like to have a try? At this time, the dragon strongman laughed. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 4301 Dragon Dust is also immersed in the joy of earth-shaking changes in the body, suddenly heard the dragon's strong words, suddenly came to interest. Bold ideas? This is good. Longchen is surprised and happy. The root qi spreads into the sea of stars, the colorful supreme blood is also activated, the dragon blood enters the tendons, the supreme forging bone, and the purple blood unblocks the pulse. Now, qi gathering, blood coagulation, tendon changing, bone forging, and pulse unblocking are all completed, but have you found any abnormality in your body? Asked the dragon strongman. Strange? It's that my body has become stronger and I'm eager to fight against the best. Long Chen felt his body, full of strength, but he felt extremely hungry. You are wrong. That hunger is not a desire to fight, but a desire to be nourished. The dragon people are strong. Longing for nourishment? Long Chen was stunned. Now your qi, blood, tendons, bones and pulse are all awakened. Although you are not completely reborn now compared with the past, you have completed a great change. And you have to know that the more powerful your body is, the more powerful energy is needed to support it. That's why, when a man fights, he keeps eating flesh and blood. If the flesh and blood are cut off, he will lose energy supply, and he will be weak all over. When the consumption reaches a certain level, he will fall asleep to reduce the consumption of his body. You are the same now. I believe you also feel that endless blood flows in your body and your whole body is full of power, right? Yes, I'm full of energy. I want to have a fight with someone. Longchen rode. You are not in a fighting state, but you still have such terrible power, but this state is also a great consumption for you. Your body is like a reservoir. In the past, your water outlet was only as thick as your fingers, but your water inlet was as thick as your arms. Therefore, in peacetime, your strength is always full, but now it is not the same. Your outlet is as thick as the water tank. Even if you don't fight, even if you lie down and sleep, your consumption is still very large. In less than half a month, you will be unable to make ends meet, and the source of power will start to dry up. At that time, the qi, blood, tendons, bones and pulse you wake up will fall into deep sleep again for self-protection, and you will be beaten back to your original shape. The dragon people are strong. No. Long Chen was surprised. It's a very serious problem. I'm not kidding you. Your body is like a country. It originally raised 100,000 troops. Now you have raised tens of millions of troops, but your food has not increased. How long do you think you can support them? There is no lack of peerless arrogance among the contemporary strong, but why can few people surpass the ancients? It's not that they are not strong enough, but because they are too strong and consume too much to support themselves. They either starve to death, or they have to give up some strength to survive. The dragon people are strong. Long Chen's mouth was wide open, his face was shocked and said, but now the chaotic qi has poured into nirvana, and the law of heaven has gradually improved. Can't it support me? If you only have one or two kinds of power, it's no problem, but you have colorful supreme blood, purple blood and dragon blood, 3 kinds of supreme blood, which are big consumers. At the same time, there are mysterious supreme bones and 18,000 spirit roots. Do you think the way of heaven will only feed you and starve others to death? Thanks to you, you are now blessed with the spirit of the king, and the power of the way of heaven will pour out to you. Otherwise, with your current consumption, you will not be able to hold on for half a month, and you will have to lie down for 3 days at most. The dragon people are strong. Dragon Strong said very seriously, can't help but ask, that elder, why didn't you tell me earlier? I didn't expect that your consumption would be so terrible after activation. Besides, what's the use of telling you earlier? If you don't activate them in the fairyland, and then activate them in the realm of the king, the energy consumed is not what you can imagine. And if you reactivate at that time, your energy activity will drop rapidly, and you won't even make that choice. The dragon people are strong. That's true. By the way, Master, didn't you say you had a bold idea? Is it related to my consumption? Dragon Dust just busy. Of course, my idea is, do you dare to venture through the gate of the alien world and go to the inner world? The dragon people are strong. Where can we make ends meet? Long Chen asked. It's full of chaos. You don't have any burden when you get there, but that's not my real purpose. After all, you can't rob there. Once you expose your identity, you will die. I mean, in that world, the Terrans have long disappeared, so there must be a lot of Lingshire mines left underground. The strong dragon laughs. Lingshire, I have many in my hand. Long Chen alone, he didn't respond. Fool, your spirit stones are basically useless in the future. I'm talking about the spirit stone of chaos, which contains the spirit of chaos. The dragon strong scolded. They'll go. What else? Long Chen was startled. Of course, it's something that only Terrans can use. For other races, it's just rubbish. So I'm sure there must be chaotic spirit stone mines underground, and there should be some scattered ones in some Terran relics. As long as you can collect enough spirit stones, you can help yourself to practice and maintain the needs of your body by absorbing the chaotic chi in the spirit stones. Otherwise, if you have no strength, you can only starve to death. How about that? Are you interested? The dragon people are strong. I'm interested. Of course I'm interested. For me, it's a wild world full of treasures. Long Chen's eyes are shining, as if he saw countless spirit stones shining with attractive light, and even his ears seem to hear some kind of call. At the gate of space, the creatures can come out, but they don't know the array, so they can't get through. If the Terrans want to pass, they need to bear the chaotic airflow and great pressure. Most people can't bear the terrible pressure and will be crushed directly. And the higher the realm is, the greater the pressure it will bear. If Tianzuan-level strong people want to break through, they are just looking for death. Jiawang-level strong people also have little hope in the past. There is only a glimmer of hope in the past of Fairyland, but if you want to get through it, you not only need to have a strong physical body, but also need to know how to make an array according to the law of space. There is an array master around you, so it should be difficult for him. The dragon people are strong. Okay, Long Chen's heart itches when he hears this. He goes to Xia Chen and Guoran directly. As a result, when they hear that they want to go to the world inside the door, their eyes are blue. They are even more excited than Long Chen. Let's go, they hit it off and left without saying a word. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 4302, Ilgo. There are a lot of people here. When the three of them quietly came to Xinguang State, they found that many strong people had gathered here. Three people found that there are many strong people here, staying in the center of the battlefield. Some people are sitting in the air with their knees crossed, feeling with their eyes closed. It turns out that they are here to understand the artistic conception. Long Chen and others suddenly realized. This place has just experienced a world-shaking war. In some places, the void is still distorted, and the fighting will of the strong remains in the space. We can restore part of the scene at that time from the broken rules. Many strong people are using the will of strong people to temper their will, which means that they took part in the war, but without any danger. When the Dragon Dust 3 came to Xinguang State, countless strong exclaimed, many foreign strong people ran away. However, there are also many strong people of different races. Instead of running, they quietly look at Long Chen. They are very smart and know that as Long Chen, they disdain to kill them. If Long Chen wants to kill them, they can't run away. Master Long Chen, when the dragon dust comes, countless strong people of human race shout in surprise, and their voices are full of worship and admiration. In the first battle of Shengwang's the dragon dust overcame the heroes, covered the sky, swept the pride of all ethnic groups, and won the light for the human race. Today, among the Terrans, Long Chen is in the limelight for a while, and even has no Tianjiao. His rise has eclipsed countless Tianjiao. It's not that they are not good enough, but that Long Chen is too strong. No matter how strong the star's light is, it can't compete with the bright moon. So when the dragon dust comes, the Terran strong man immediately boils up. Long Chen nodded to these people as a greeting, while the strong people of other ethnic groups retreated one after another, making way for Long Chen. The strong people of other races look at Long Chen with awe in their eyes. Although they are enemies of the human race, they can't hate Long Chen because fear outweighs their hatred. When entering Xinguang State, there are more and more strong people of all ethnic groups. However, it is strange that although the strong people of all ethnic groups hate each other, they do not attack each other. Some people have just been promoted to the king of the world. Can't they wait? Guoran saw many strong men in the world, but their breath was up and down, obviously not well controlled, obviously just advanced. Not everyone can control their own state. People who have no solid foundation have a weak breath and are stimulated by the chaos of qi, so they directly break through, and they can't suppress it. Longchen explained. The more powerful people are, the more accurate they are in controlling their own realm. However, many people are unable to control their own realm accurately. However, it's a big loss to break through at this time, because we are now in a period of rapid rise of chaos. Every day we delay, we will take advantage of it. Therefore, the powerful immortal kings who can suppress their accomplishments are all trying their best to suppress them. The super strong intend to advance after the growth of chaos slows down. Under the gaze of countless strong men, the three of them enter the Holy King state and come to the position where the Holy King Challenge Arena is. But now the Holy King's Challenge Arena has disappeared. Under the Holy King's Challenge Arena, there is a huge door. Endless chaos is spilling out from the crack of the door. The air of chaos is the most abundant here, but it can't be absorbed directly here. The flowing air of chaos has the power of law. If it is absorbed directly, it will do great harm to people. Only when we are far away from the gate of the alien world and the chaotic qi is in a peaceful state can we safely absorb it. It can be said that the chaotic qi here can only be seen. Get the rest of you out of the way. If you're near the gate, you'll be killed. When the dragon dust came and caused a change, a cold drink came near the gate. It's the demons. What are they doing? Gua ran and others were stunned. They found that a large group of powerful demons surrounded the gate and kept people away. I tell you, Master Longchen, that the devil is communicating with the strong devil in the door. It seems that he has been preaching the Dharma for several days. No one is allowed to get close to him. A strong man is in a hurry. Preach the Dharma? Longchen was stunned. It should be. We can hear the sound of demons coming from the crack of the door from a long distance. Hundreds of thousands of the supreme heavenly pride of the demons are lying on the edge of the crack of the door and listening quietly. Besides, Master Longchen, how many people did you bring this time? Asked the Terran strongman. Just the three of us. Longchen rode. 3? The man was very surprised. Master Longchen, please run away quickly. There are more than 10 half-step immortal strong people sitting here. Don't let them find you. 12 and a half-step immortal class strong men? Guoran and Xiachen are scared. What's the situation? What do the demons want to do? Boom. At this time, the void roared, and the evil spirit of terror blocked the heaven and earth. The strong man of the Terran looked frightened and turned to run away, but was pulled by Guoran. There's no need to escape. It's blocked. If you go out, you'll die. Guoran rode, with his words down, the void above the emergence of a magic border will be tens of thousands of miles of space blockade. Haha, heaven has a way. If you don't go, hell has no way to throw. Longchen, you are so brave. They'll see where you are going this time. The figures of the powerful demons emerge, and the breath of terror sweeps across the sky. 16 half-step immortal strong men surround Longchen and others. A demon elder looks at Longchen with a gloomy face, and his eyes are all cold. It's so funny. Even last time, it was you who escaped. At the corner of Longchen's mouth, a touch of sarcasm appeared. Suddenly, Longchen looked at the old man in surprise and pointed to him. Well, you look so familiar that I seem to know you. Of course you know me, you bastard, garbage, big liar, give back my babies. The powerful one of the demons suddenly became ferocious. Longchen suddenly realized that this man was the strong demon who was cheated when Longchen auctioned the heaven and earth tripod. At that time, in order to obtain the heaven and earth cauldron, the powerful demon clan produced 58 immortal corpses and 7 immortal magic weapons, 3 of which came from the Terran. As a result, he got a fake. He was almost mad. Later, at the Holy King's meeting, he hid in the dark and wanted a suitable opportunity to kill Longchen, but he didn't wait for the chance and finally had to endure it. Now, when he saw the 3 of them swaggering up, he suddenly became angry from his heart, and the evil came to Danbianxing. He called on all the powerful demons and surrounded Longchen all at once. Buzz, the old man didn't talk much nonsense. He held a cold and shining magic sword, and cut off the dragon dust with one sword. The evil spirit gushed all over the sky, and the breath of the immortal class strong man burst out with all his strength. It seems that you are very resentful. How about a sword? Long Chen smiles a little. Facing the sword, he tilts his head slightly and lets the sword cut on his shoulder. Boom! With a bang, in the overlapping waves, countless strong people look at Long Chen in horror. How? How possible? www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 4303. At that moment, except for Long Chen, everyone was shocked, including Guoran, who was armed with armor, and Xia Chen, who was armed with seal characters. The sword of the demon strongman stabs Long Chen's shoulder and cuts Long Chen's skin, but no blood spills. The sword stays on Long Chen's shoulder, and the demon strongman's face is shocked. His whole body is full of evil spirit. Although this blow is not full-blown, it also contains 80% of his strength. He just wanted to force Long Chen to change his moves. His backhand was the real killing move. Unexpectedly, Long Chen didn't dodge and took his sword with his body. His sword seemed to cut on the stars, which made his blood surge and his arm numb. Daida. People were shocked to find that there was blood dripping. It was not the blood of Long Chen, but the blood of the powerful demon. I gave you a chance to kill me, but you are useless. Long Chen looks at the wound on his shoulder, and a smile appears at the corner of his mouth. Long Chen didn't use any defense, because he didn't cut it by himself. His blood essence would automatically form a defense, but the defense of blood essence only offset part of his strength. The magic sword cuts on the bone of Long Chen. At that moment, the lines on the bone of Long Chen's body suddenly light up. The strike of the powerful demon can't hurt his bone at all, and even leave no trace. You! That demon clan strong one face is frightened of color, immediately realize not good, will quickly retreat. Poof! With a flick of his fingers, a colorful light shot out of his head in an instant. Poof! The corpse of the demon strongman falls in the air, and his immortal soldier is still on Long Chen's shoulder. The picture looks so strange. Ilgo, Xia Chen and Guoran look at Long Chen with an excited look on their face. It's only a long time since the boss has been so powerful that he can ignore the immortal magic soldiers. Buzz, all of a sudden, a lotus appears in Long Chen's hand, covering the void of thousands of miles in an instant. At that moment, the faces of all the half-step immortal strong men change greatly. Run away, they yelled at the demons in front of the door. Buzz, the flame lotus in Long Chen's hand is blooming with cold divine radiance, just like a meteor flying towards the huge gate, aiming at those demons. Those demons are sitting in front of the door with their knees crossed. They seem to be accepting some kind of baptism. When they find out that Huolian is coming, it's too late. Boom! With a bang, the huge flame broke out, and the demons were engulfed by the white flame. Puff, puff, puff. Countless demons Tianjiao didn't even have time to resist. They were engulfed by the white flame and turned into ice crumbs. The speed of Long Chen's hand is too fast. There is no sign at all. It's finished in the blink of an eye, from condensing the flame lotus to arousing. Even those half-step immortal level strong people can't stop it. After the purple blood unblocks the pulse, all the magic powers can be sent out instantly. Damn, I'm finally forced to do it. Dragon dust on the surface of a cold, but in the heart is shouting. In the past, he needed to activate the meridians to prepare for such a strike. Otherwise, he could not bear such a big impact. Then he activated the power of the heavenly way to fuse the power of the heavenly way with the power of his own fire, and controlled the attack with the power of his soul. Now it's different. With his powerful meridians, he doesn't need to be so complicated. He directly introduces the power of heaven into his body, so that the power of heaven and the power of his own fire can be directly stimulated after being fused in his body. Long Chen takes his body as a bow and the power of fire after fusion as an arrow. His meridians are bowstring. As long as he pulls the bow, he can shoot the arrow directly. Therefore, this blow to destroy the world's fire lotus can be completed in the blink of an eye. White flames raged, and only a few dozen of the hundreds of thousands of powerful demons escaped. Even if they escaped, they were also infected with white flames and burned to smoke and scream. Darn Terran, dare to do evil to our demon family. At this moment, there was a roar inside the gate. It was obvious that the strong man behind the gate knew what was going on outside. What's wrong with you? I will kill all your demons in front of you. You have the ability to come out from the crack of the door. Long Chen sneers, and suddenly the 7-Ju sword appears in his hand. When he shows the 7-Ju sword, those powerful demons' faces change greatly. Who, even half-step immortal level strong, also all rapid evacuation, all the demons in a moment to escape completely. The Terran strongman who talked to Long Chen before was already desperate because he was surrounded by so many strongmen. In a twinkling of an eye, even the half-step immortal strongman escaped, and he was stunned. The other strong people of all ethnic groups also look frightened. There are only 3 people in Longchen, but he scared back more than a dozen half-step immortal strong people and won't take revenge for those dead Tianjiao. They'll go so seedless? Guoran and Xiachen were also stunned. They just wanted to see how Long Chen displayed his power and fought against more than 10 half-step immortal class strong men. As a result, the other side was scared away and ran so simply without hesitation. But think about it, what they are facing is not a person, but a monster who can use his body to resist immortal magic soldiers. They are also afraid of death, so they can only escape. All the living demons escaped completely, and the front door was empty. There were still white ice debris burning outside the door, which was the aftereffect of Bingpa. Bingpa was so overbearing that it would not go out if he didn't burn each other clean. The 3 of them came to the front of the huge door, and the chaos in the crack of the door roared, blowing their long hair and clothes. Damn Terran, you will not be arrogant for long. Once the door is opened, you will wait to welcome the coming of death. There was another roar in the door. Dragon dust suddenly, an eye closed up, open eyes, 3 flower pattern emerge, along the door to see inside. 1, 2, 3, hee, 5 heavenly lords, 35 kings of the world. All right, let's get ready. Long Chen takes back 3 flower pupil, he says with a smile. Okay, Xiachen directly takes out 36 array plates and arranges them in the void according to certain specifications. After a long time, everything is arranged properly. Xiachen nods to Long Chen, indicating that everything is ready. At this time, the door is still from time to time to drink the sound of abuse, but they cannot pass through the door, can only vent in this way. When the dragon dust 3 people decorate in front of the door, the other strong people of all ethnic groups are stunned and don't know what these 3 people want to do. Buzz, all of a sudden, Xiachen smashes a seal script. His whole body is wrapped by divine light, and Guoran calls out the golden armor. Go, dragon dust a break to drink. Suddenly summer morning layout of those array plate burst to pieces, a divine light wrapped 3 people, so against the current rush to the door. What? Did they? Just when people were shocked, they suddenly heard the scream of the creatures coming from the door, followed by the sound of cutting the body with a sharp blade. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 4304, Puff, Puff, Puff. Long Chen holds the 7-Ju sword and cuts the powerful one of the demons. The 7-Ju sword is so sharp that it can easily cut the body of the powerful one of the demons. But Guoran and Xiachen have an accident against a powerful man. Guoran is shocked to find that under the fierce cutting of his sword, a gap has been broken by the powerful man's claws. You know, his saber is the best weapon in the world. He can't even break the defense of his opponent. How can he not be surprised? Xiachen's rune circulation trapped a powerful demon god for the first time, but under the roar of the demon god, he broke his rune lock in an instant. You know, at the beginning, Xiachen trapped a half-step immortal level strong man for half a breath with one move, and the strong man of the demon clan collapsed directly. Poof, poof, the dragon dust kills to come, holding 7 unique swords, continuous 2 swords, split those 2 demon clan heaven zune into 2 half. kill, but to their surprise, the rest of the powerful demons, whose accomplishments were just beyond the realm of the king, did not run away, but rushed towards them. Puff, puff, puff. The three men shot at the same time and killed all the powerful demons in an instant. To their surprise, none of them escaped. Are they crazy? No fear at all? Xiachen was shocked. The wisdom of these powerful demons is extremely low, and their reaction speed is also slow. It should be that they have eaten too much peace food, and their instinct has degenerated. In this world, the human race is extinct. If you don't have to deal with the human race, your brain will become stupid. Longchen Road. These powerful demons are extremely strong. The 5 powerful demons are almost equivalent to the immortal existence of the outside world. But when they fight, their reaction is obviously a little slow, otherwise the 3 of them will not be so easy to kill. Why are the powerful demons here so terrible? Guo Ran looked at the gap on the sword, surprised, angry and distressed. His sword was discarded. The creatures here have been nourished by chaos for a long time, and they are countless times better than us in all aspects. We should be careful and clean up quickly, disguised as they rush into the crack of the door, and don't be crushed by the crack of the door. Longchen Road. Will that work? Guo Ran hesitated. These guys have limited intelligence. They should be able to fool around for a while. In the morning of summer, you can set up an array to isolate the voice of the outside world and prevent them from talking to the outside world. Don't worry about the destruction of the array. The Terrans here are extinct. These creatures don't know the array at all. Just don't worry about it. Longchen Road. Okay, after listening to Longchen, Xiachen and Guo Ran suddenly realized that they were busy and threw the bodies into the crack of the door. The bodies were crushed by the terrible pressure, turned into blood fog and scattered on the side of the door. Xiachen began to arrange the array. After the noise barrier was set up, the 3 people wiped off their own smell again, so they left at ease. The 3 men stayed away from the gate and found a suitable place. Xiachen took out the array disk and arranged a coordinate location. In this way, on the one hand, they would not get lost. On the other hand, they set up a transmission point. After the completion of the arrangement of the transmission point, the magic array is arranged outside, not to mention the alien strongman, even the Terran strongman. If there is not the existence of the array master level, you can't find the abnormality here. Let's go! After all the arrangements were made, the 3 of them galloped away. All the way, they found that the vegetation here was more luxuriant than Nirvana. The same tree could only grow a few feet outside, but it could be as high as 100 miles here, almost unrecognizable. Good guy, is this the ancient world? No wonder the demons are so strong. Guo Ran looked at everything here and was so surprised that he couldn't help exclaiming. The air of chaos here is extremely rich. Even when you raise your hands and feet, you can feel their fluctuation. You don't need to absorb it deliberately here. The air of chaos actively drills into their bodies. At this time, Longchen finally felt what the dragon strongman said. Only here can his original power maintain balance. Before, Longchen couldn't feel it, but when he entered here, Longchen could obviously feel that his energy was constantly replenishing, but he was unconsciously consuming it in nirvana. Boom! The 3 are running at a high speed. Suddenly, there is a loud noise in the distance. Longchen's face suddenly changes. He grabs them and flashes. Boom! A divine light with a diameter of 10,000 li flashed past the 3 people. The endless trees and mountains were pierced in an instant. After the divine light, the earth was decayed and black smoke came out of the void, as if it had been corroded. At that moment, even Longchen was scared out of a cold sweat. This blow had gone beyond his imagination. If he hadn't retreated fast enough, the 3 people would have become nothingness. We've been found. Guo Ran's face turned white with fright. Boom boom. At this time, the distance roared, the sky trembled, and the divine light shot through the sky. It is obvious that there is a fierce battle among the strong terrorists. It is not aimed at them. The blow just now is just an aftershock, and it happened to hit them. What level of strength is this? Xiachen has a look of horror. Even the void has been eroded, and the laws of heaven and earth have been disrupted. Chapter 4305, Not Good, Dragon Dust surprised. The existence of two super terrors seems to have played a fire, using the power of the source. Long Chen pulled them back and put his body in front of them. He just finished this action. All of a sudden, Long Chen's body suddenly trembled, as if he had been hit by a meteor. The huge force made his blood surge, and almost a mouthful of blood gushed out. Boom, a wave of death came, directly flattening the earth. In an instant, the sky and the earth lost all their colors. The three men's brains were dazed and then fell into darkness. When Long Chen carefully drilled out of the soil, he was shocked to find that the whole world had become barren, with endless cracks in the void, lightning and thunder, like hell. Looking at the center of the battlefield, a huge figure was shaking. It was the golden-winged devil. At this time, its golden light was dim and its breath became very weak. Roar! The golden-winged devil roared at the colorful tortoise, then his wings trembled, turned into a streamer and disappeared. Obviously, the golden-winged devil was defeated and had to leave. Good guy, such a long distance, the aftereffect almost crushed us, immortal class strong is too terrible. Xia Qin has a look of horror. You know, they are far away from the two terrors, but the aftershocks are still so terrible. If they were not blocked by dragon dust, they would be crushed directly. These two guys, there should be no terror here. Long Chen shakes his head and looks solemn. Why? Summer morning, two people are surprised. You think these two guys are fighting fiercely, and there is no other living creature nearby. They have no help from the same clan. Long Chen rode. Boss, do you mean that they are all casual practitioners? Guoran was shocked. Boom boom. At this time, the colorful tortoise four legs open, the earth trembles. After the golden-winged devil left, it also left. Come on, follow up. Long Chen waved. Boss, what are you doing? Guoran was surprised. Hey, the Xian tortoise is seriously injured. It's supposed to go back to his old nest for healing. Let's see if we can take advantage of it. Long Chen said with a smile. Take advantage of the immortal? Guoran and Xia Qin are all shivering. Long Chen's courage is too big. Dragon dust with two people convergence breath, along the Xian turtle's breath to chase, really didn't take long, saw a piece of wild land. It was a huge valley. When they saw the valley, the three of them were crazy. There were many building debris in the valley. It looked like this was once a Terran territory. It's just that the buildings in the valley have collapsed and are covered with vegetation. We can only see the appearance of people who once lived from some humble traces. But after waiting for a while, they saw that there was no movement at all. They couldn't help looking at Long Chen. Long Chen pointed to the distance. They turned their heads slowly and looked into the distance. Suddenly, their scalp became numb and their hair almost stood up. Not far away from them, a huge figure was quietly approaching. It was the golden-winged devil who had been defeated before. When they saw the golden-winged devil, they were too scared to move. They even didn't dare to sound their souls for fear that they would be caught by each other. Obviously, the golden-winged devil was very cunning. He pretended to leave and then sneaked back to attack the tortoise while he was healing. But is this kind of trick really good? Three people can't help but wonder in the heart, this stratagem also too naive, that Xian tortoise can be deceived? The three fell on the ground and did not dare to move. The golden-winged devil quietly approached the valley. Its head slowly stretched out and its mouth slowly opened. Buzz, all of a sudden, a golden light shot out of his big mouth and went straight to the head of the tortoise. Stupid, when seeing the attack of the golden-winged devil, Long Chen almost yelled. Boom! Sure enough, as Long Chen expected, Xian Jiuai's head shrank into the shell of the turtle in an instant, and this sneak attack was defeated directly. Even people who are not tortoise people know that the speed of the turtle's head shrank is the fastest. This guy even attacks its head directly, and there is no such sneak attack. Buzz, the tortoise was attacked. On its huge body, the multicolored divine light quickly lit up. Then it stood on its four legs, like a colorful meteor, and hit the golden-winged devil hard. Boom! There was a startling sound. Long Chen didn't care to hide his strength, so he broke off with a big hand, 7 unique shields. Buzz! The shield composed of colorful divine lights protects the 3. Boom! With a bang, Chijue's shield suddenly broke, and the 3 people flew out like a rolling gourd. The golden-winged devil was hit by the hard tortoise shell and broke his bones and tendons. The devil's blood gushed out, and his breath withered for a moment. Do it or not, kill them. Dragon dust treads on the void, behind the Kuanping wings emerge, people like meteors rush to the head of Xiangui in an instant. Supreme 7 unique thorns, dragon dust a break to drink, in the hand 7 color long gun, start 10,000 Li God Hui, toward Xianjiuai's huge eyes fiercely stab past. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 4306 that Xian Tortoise bumps into the Golden Winged Devil, and he is also shocked by the terrible anti-shock force. Long Chen seizes the opportunity and stabs Xian Tortoise's eyes with his colorful spear. With this blow, Long Chen Mao is full of strength. Poof! The huge spear stabbed into the eyes of Xianjiuai and went straight into the huge head of Xianjiuai. Boom! The violent force burst out from the head of Xianjiuai. With a dull sound, the flesh and blood like mud flew out of Xianjiuai's eyes, nostrils and mouth. After Long Chen's strike, his face was as pale as paper. With this strike, Long Chen directly burst out all his strength, without any reservation. He killed the mysterious turtle with 1 strike, but he was hollowed out for a moment. Boom boom. The huge tortoise died, but the golden-winged devil was still struggling and seemed to run away. Long Chen cried out, "Stop it!" Boom! Guoran, holding a golden saber, stabs the winged devil in the eye like Long Chen. As a result, the winged devil shakes his head, and Guoran's knife cuts the winged devil's eye directly. Click! Guoran's golden sword was directly broken. The huge anti-shock force almost made him vomit blood. Yin and Yang locked the sky. In the morning of summer, thousands of Fu and Zhuan flew out, forming an endless chain, blocking heaven and earth, trapping the golden-winged demon and pressing it to the ground. Bang bang! The golden-winged devil roared and kept struggling. With his struggle, the chain broke one by one. Xiachen was shocked. The golden-winged devil was seriously injured and dying, but he could still break his rune chain, which was beyond his imagination. Guoran quick! Cried Xiachen. Originally, Guoran's sword was broken. When he was in pain, he suddenly heard Xiachen yell. He immediately took out the gold crossbow. Burst arrow! Guoran stopped drinking, the crossbow trembled, and a golden arrow flew out. Poof! The golden arrow shot into the golden-winged devil's mouth. Bang! With a dull sound, the golden-winged devil's 7 orifices were smoking, his body suddenly trembled, and he fell to the ground and did not move any more. The golden-winged devil died, and the dragon dust all wiped a cold sweat. The immortal monster is too terrible. Even when he is dying, he has the power of terror. Dang dang! When Guoran knocked on the wings of the golden-winged devil, he made a sound of metal impact. His wings are immortal. Don't be idle. Collect immortal blood quickly. If it's too late, you will lose your divinity. Seeing that Guoran was still studying the body of the golden-winged devil, Xiachen couldn't help crying. At this time of the summer morning has run to the colorful Xian turtle in front of, take out the vessel is collecting its blood essence. For Xiachen, whether it's demon blood or demon blood, it's the best material for inscriptions. The essence and blood of immortal demon is priceless. It's essential to condense immortal seal script and build immortal magic weapon. Xiachen never thought that she could collect the fresh immortal blood essence, which is the highest purity. Before the summer morning, he collected the blood of half a step of the immortal class, but the essence of blood had been stored for many years, and the essence of divinity disappeared. At the Holy King's meeting, Xiachen also secretly collected the blood essence of many semi-immortal strong men. For these blood essence, Xiachen was even more ecstatic. Today, the essence of the immortal strength is gathered, and the essence of the essence contained in these blood is more than 10 times that of the half-immortal. The two are frantically collecting immortal essence and blood, while Longchen summons the magic ring vision, and the power of double blood bursts out to quickly repair the body. To Longchen's surprise, there is plenty of chaos here, and he recovers very quickly. However, in a long time, his strength has recovered 80%. Longchen knows that such a fast recovery speed is due to the environment here on the one hand, and on the other hand, his purple blood and colorful supreme blood have strong recovery power, so they can recover so fast. At this time, Xia Chen and Guoran also finished collecting blood essence. Guoran and Xia Chen are working together to remove the tortoise's shell, but their weapons can't cut the tortoise's flesh and blood. Guoran took a fancy to this tortoise shell at a glance. It's a ready-made immortal magic weapon. It's invincible to use it as a shield. Don't bother. Let's look at the underground first. Longchen stopped them. Unless they had Dong Minjia's dagger, it would take the eldest brother's strength to cut the flesh and blood of Xiangui with immortal magic weapon. They don't have time to do it now. Longchen directly put the bodies of Xiangui and Yimo into the chaotic space, but Longchen didn't throw them into the black soil. They are the real immortal strong men. Their bones are all treasures, especially the bone patterns on them have great research value. It's too wasteful to throw them in and decompose them. Let's leave them for a while. 3 people came to the place where Xiangui lay down. Xiachen squatted down and observed, "Yes, there is a big array running below. Let me connect it." Xiachen said, took out more than a dozen array disc, busy for a while, built a small transmission array. Buzz, 3 people stepped on the transmission array, suddenly space distortion, 3 people in front of a flower, instantly came to a dark and open place. Here is the underground world, like an underground palace, but most of the palace has collapsed, countless patterns have been destroyed, where they are located is a corner of the palace. This is really the power of the Terrans. Looking at the surrounding scene, Guoran was surprised. This big array should be a healing and replenishing array. Because of external pressure, it happened to start the big array. Xiangui takes this place as a place for recuperation, so he takes it as his own. But for countless years, how can he maintain his array? Xiachen murmured to himself while observing. Xiachen took out a plate and walked carefully, as if looking for something. Longchen and Guoran didn't know anything, so they could only follow Xiachen. The palace is full of dust, a few inches thick. It looks old and desolate, which makes people feel very gloomy. It should be here. Guoran helps. After studying for a long time, Xiachen suddenly points to a wall. Guoran quickly took out the broom, carefully swept away the dust on the wall. Guoran's skilled action, obviously not the first time to do such a thing. Moreover, his movements were extremely gentle. The dust fell layer by layer. After sweeping more than 10 layers, countless runes gradually appeared on the wall, and a door appeared in front of them. Xiachen studied the above runes, took out 2 array plates, sucked them on the gate, and made a decision with his hand. Buzz, all of a sudden, the 2 array plates light up, and the gate opens slowly. When the gate opens, the 3 people are shocked by the scene in front of them. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 4307. After the door opened, the first thing that came into view was a piece of crystal stones piled up like a hill. When he saw those crystal stones, Longchen exclaimed, "Spirit Stone of Chaos." As soon as Xiachen and Guoran heard that it was the chaotic spirit stone, they cried out excitedly. However, when they rushed to the crystal stone, the blazing fire in their hearts was instantly extinguished by a basin of cold water. How could that be? Longchen picked up a crystal and found that the crystal had split inside, which was the performance of energy depletion. Although there is still a strong gas of chaos on the crystal stone, it is an empty shell and can't extract the gas of chaos. In other words, these spirit stones of chaos have been abandoned. Damn, we're a little late. All the chaotic spirit stones here are wasted. Xiachen looked at the hundreds of thousands of stone in front of him turned into waste, and could not help gnashing his teeth. I'm afraid it's not just a step too late. I'm afraid it's 10,000 steps too late. The reason that the Xian tortoise is so powerful is that it may have inadvertently activated the array here and started to release the power of these spirit stones. Longchen sighed. This is the treasure house of spirit stones. All the spirit stones have been used up and become waste. They are happy in vain. What are you doing? Guoran grabbed a few pieces of chaotic spirit stone income pocket. Longchen can't help asking. Even if it's rubbish, we have to get some pieces to keep as a souvenir. Guoran hates the tunnel. Longchen was speechless for a while. Don't be so unpromising. The main purpose of our coming in is for the chaotic spirit stone. Xiachen has a quick look. There should be other treasures. Clean them up quickly. If there is nothing valuable, go away quickly. Xiachen hurriedly continued to investigate, and soon they found an armory, but the weapons in the armory were empty, and the rest were some broken weapons, and they were rusty. However, in a collapsed place, Xiachen found another treasure house. From the traces of the treasure house, it seems that this is the place where precious medicines were once piled up. However, countless precious medicines have become ashes, and they can't recognize their original appearance. Finally, Xiachen found the treasure, opened a pile of ruins. Guoran a burst of cheers. Here piled up a lot of precious ore. Although Guoran didn't know it, with years of forging experience, he was sure that the immortal gold contained in these ores was the material for building immortal soldiers. Guoran is still unable to refine this kind of ore, but this does not affect his joy at all. He directly collects all the ore in this area. There are minerals, but there are no immortal materials. Obviously, this force does not have the ability to refine immortal materials and build magic soldiers. This is a good start for us. As long as we look for more relics, we can harvest more treasures. Longchen said with a smile. Hearing what Longchen said, Xiachen and Guoran were very excited. According to the fluctuation of the chaotic spirit stone, they made a detection array to detect the Terran architecture. When the three have finished packing up, Xiachen arranges a magic array here, and then the three leave at ease. Rao is a master of three people's arts. He's brave. He has to be careful here and dare not be careless. You know, the golden-winged devil and the mysterious turtle are just the scattered cultivation here. They have no power behind them, but they can grow up to immortality. Those forces with ethnic background must be stronger. If they disturb such existence, even if they have 10,000 lives, they will have to join in. 2 days later, Xiachen's probe array finally reacted, and the reaction was extremely intense. The three finally found a Terran site. When they saw the ruins here, they not only took a breath of air, but also saw that there was a broken wall. But from the huge gatehouse, we can see that the people here must have been very brilliant in the past. A corner of the gate tower, even if it has collapsed, still rises into the sky. Who knows how grand it will be when it stood? Click, after stepping on the gate, Xiachen makes a strange noise. It turns out that it's a piece of bone. The bone has been weathered. After Xiachen steps on it, it turns into ashes and floats with the wind. It seems that there are runes flashing in the scattered ashes. A piece of bone can resist the erosion of time. I'm afraid it's at least a half-step immortal. What kind of war did they go through? Longchen looks at that bone, can't help but feel shocked. 3 people around the corner of the gatehouse, but never see other bones. It is estimated that they have been reduced to ashes in the long river of years. The Stone of Chaos. All of a sudden, Xiachen exclaimed. Among the scattered stones, a fist-sized, crystal-clear spirit stone came out. It was a chaotic spirit stone. The chaotic spirit in it was foggy. It was obvious that there was no loss of chaotic spirit. There's more. Guoran also exclaimed, not far away. He also saw a chaotic spirit stone, and then they found that there were dozens of chaotic spirit stones scattered around. How could that be? This is the spirit stone of chaos. Is there a conspiracy to leave it here? Guoran's face suddenly changed and looked around suspiciously. There is no conspiracy. It was accidentally scattered during the war. The chaotic spirit stone is a treasure for the human race. For other races, it is just a common stone, which is useless. Longchen stroked the chaotic spirit stone in his hand and sighed, maybe only they know what happened, but they can't tell us. Lingshi is truly immortal. If it does not extract its essence, it will last forever, but it is not a shadow jade, it cannot record everything in the past. Hearing what Longchen said, Guoran put down his heart and continued to search. But soon he was disappointed. Except for these dozens of chaotic spirit stones, there was no other place. However, these dozens of chaotic spirit stones have already satisfied both of them. They are absolute treasures. If the chaotic chi in the spirit stone is released, the rich degree of chaotic chi in a certain range of space will reach an unimaginable height in a certain period of time. If you use it as energy to bless the flying ship, you don't know what will happen. They can't wait to have a try. The three carefully explored the depths of the ruins, and soon there was an induction in the morning of summer. There were fluctuations in the underground array. He immediately began to try to communicate with the underground array. Unfortunately, after countless attempts, he was unable to link the array in space. Forget it, don't delay. Let me do it. With these words, Guoran took out a strange-shaped thing, which was like a steel pangolin with dozens of shovels in front. What is this? Longchen can't help but ask, but just after asking, Longchen suddenly realized, this is what you used when you mixed up with Emon Yen? Boom! Longchen guessed that this thing was used to drill the ground, and the speed was very fast. In less than half an hour, the three had gone deep underground. Boom! All of a sudden, there was a big light in front of them, and then the three of them exclaimed. They saw a monster with a big mouth and exposed tusks, staring at them with a pair of eyes. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 4308 Being watched by the monster, the three of them scream in fright, and the dragon dust instinctively cuts the monster with a sword. Boom! As a result, with a bang, Longchen's Qijue sword was heavily split on the monster's head, sparks splashed, and Longchen's qi and blood surged and was in a dilemma. When the dragon dust out of a sword of the moment, this just reaction come over, this monster is just a corpse. Damn, I'm scared to death. My heart is going to jump out. Guoran was scared out of a brain sweat. Let them be bold, all of a sudden by terror monster stare, also flustered God. This is the corpse of an immortal creature, but I can't recognize its kind. It's like some kind of rat, but it's very strange with scales all over it. Its body was pierced by a huge spear, so it was nailed to death here. However, the spear was only half of it. It was obviously a remnant soldier. It should have been thrown directly to kill the monster. The three did not dare to move. They looked around and found that it was an underground palace. Many places had collapsed. In many places, they could even see huge bodies. However, some of these corpses have been buried and can't see the whole picture. I don't know what kind of corpses they are, but they are definitely not human. It was originally a palace. It was the thick soil of the external war that buried it. It became what it is now. Summer Morning looked around the pillar road. As a mage, he has a certain understanding of architecture. At a glance, he can see that it is buried here, which is different from the previous underground palace. It's a pity that it died too long. Although the body has been preserved, the essence and blood have lost its activity in order to keep the body from rotting. Summer Morning explored that monster's corpse for a while, can't help a face to feel sorry tunnel. Boom! Dragon dust directly put the monster's body into the chaotic space and threw it into the black soil to decompose. It's useless for Xiaqin, but for dragon dust, it's a treasure. Boss, you look for treasure separately. You'll see if you can activate part of the array here. If you can activate it, you can restore the whole layout so we don't have to touch everywhere. Summer Morning Road. Longchen nodded, which is a good way. If Xiaqin can activate the big formation, they can know the distribution of this force accurately, which is better than three people's random touch. Longchen and Guoran separate and touch along the two sides of the collapsed palace. Longchen soon meets a mouse-like creature and directly pulls it out of the ruins and throws it into the chaotic space. But this monster, the body is different, he only got half of the body, the other half do not know where. What shocked Longchen was that the monster was cut off by a sharp blade, and the incision on the bone was as smooth as a mirror. Obviously, the weapon to cut it off must be sharp. Longchen can't help but feel shocked. This is an immortal creature. Its bone is comparable to that of an immortal magic weapon. He can cut such a wound. Longchen can't imagine how sharp the weapon is. Along the way, there were many landslides in front of Longchen, so Longchen had to avoid them. As a result, after several circles, he returned to the original place. Guoran was the same. It was obvious that the place where they were was very small. If they wanted to explore other areas, they needed to continue drilling. "Boss, let's go." Suddenly Summer Morning exclaimed in surprise. "Why?" "Dragon Dust Q and I found the position of the main pivot of the big formation. We'll go there now." 3 people on the strange machine, all the way excavation. An hour later, 3 people appear again in a hall. The hall is huge, tens of thousands of miles away, and it is well preserved. You can see endless patterns. Xiachen came to the center of the hall, where there is a floating platform, which is 100 zhang square. The floating platform is full of all kinds of array plates. When Longchen saw these array plates, he was surprised and happy, and his eyes were full of excitement. This is the array plate of ancient times, and its subtlety is thousands of times better than the current array plate. Don't talk about the useless ones. We don't have much time to study them. Let's try to activate the array first. If we can't activate it, we can take as much as we can take away," Guoran said. Xiachen quickly looks for it on the array plate, and soon he points a finger on one of the array plates. Buzz, a light sound, a 3-dimensional pattern appeared in front of the 3 people. It is a brilliant architectural complex. When they saw the towering gatehouse, they exclaimed that the 3-dimensional pattern of emotion was just what it looked like before the door was destroyed. Zhan Tian Shenzong, what a bullying name. When he saw the plaque on the door, Longchen could not help blurting out that these 4 words were written in the early Jiuli Immortal script, and Longchen didn't know much about the early Jiuli Immortal script, but these 4 words were among the words he knew. It's too big. The palaces stretch for millions of miles. It's hard to imagine how powerful they were before they were destroyed. Unfortunately, no matter how powerful it is, it cannot escape the fate of destruction. Guoran looked at the picture in front of him and sighed, full of regret. Xiachen is not attracted by the picture, but looks at the array disk on the floating platform, constantly calculating, and suddenly he drives an array disk. Boom! All of a sudden, the whole hall trembled, and then the surrounding walls cracked and several gates appeared. Haha! The treasure house has been completely opened. Let's go and have a look. Summer Morning, a face of ecstatic color, Guoran is more excited, asked from which direction to go. Don't go. Well, send it directly. With these words, Xiachen took down an array plate directly from the floating platform. The array plate glowed, and the 3 disappeared in an instant. Buzz, when the 3 men appeared again, they had come to a front gate. Xiachen took out the array plate and put it on the gate. Buzz! The gate trembled, countless runes lit up, but the gate never opened. Seeing that Longchen and Guoran were puzzled, Xiachen explained, "If you want to open this gate before, you need several people with keys to confirm at the same time. Now that all the key holders are dead, the gate will call them, but when a certain period of time passes and these people do not respond, the gate will open automatically. But the waiting time is a little long. 3 hours later, the gate is still flashing, but there is no sign of opening." At this time, Xiachen was in a bit of a hurry. He didn't know how long the gate had been set. If it was too long, they couldn't afford it. Kaka. Fortunately, without waiting too long, the rune on the gate suddenly darkened, and then the gate opened slowly. When the door opens, the 3 people are very happy. Guoran can't wait to rush in, but he is held by Xiachen. Those who can't intrude are doomed if they touch the mechanism. Xiachen takes down the array disk from the door and puts it directly in the groove of the ground in front of the door. Buzz, all of a sudden, the dish lights up, and the divine lights appear on the earth, leading to the depths of the treasure house. Xiachen signaled that they were completely safe. The 3 talents went to the depths of the treasure house and opened 9 doors. They finally came to the real treasure house. When they saw the scene, they called out, "Get rich! www. Novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel." Chapter 4309. First of all, the crystal like a high mountain is all chaotic crystal, which almost blinds people's eyes. The fist-sized chaotic spirit stones are piled up into 100 zhang hill. Guoran excitedly plunges into the spirit stone mountain and rolls back and forth in the spirit stone mountain, as if in a dream. Long Chen and Xia Chen are also excited. They can't believe their eyes. There are so many chaotic spirit stones here, and all of them are good without any consumption. Don't mention Guoran. Even Long Chen wants to pinch himself to see if he is dreaming. It seems that he has no luck in his life. He can come to whatever he wants. There are hundreds of millions of these chaotic spirit stones. Long Chen is like a poor beggar who gets a golden mountain in an instant, but feels that everything is so unreal. Rich, rich! Xia Chen exclaimed in surprise, holding a large number of spirit stones and going up to the sky as if he were crazy. No, it's just one of the treasures. Xia Chen suddenly looks at the wall in front of him, surprised. And the treasure house? Guoran came out of the stone heap, and his eyes suddenly glowed. Who, at this time, Xia Chen has come to the front of the wall, takes out an array disc, puts it on the wall, and begins to crack the above runes. Kaka kaka. Suddenly, the wall shrinks to both sides, revealing a treasure house, which is also filled with chaotic spirit stones. However, when they saw these chaotic spirit stones, the three of them felt their hearts stopped beating. They were also chaotic spirit stones, but their breath was completely different. When the door of the treasure house was opened, the air of chaos came to their faces. Three people come to this pile of chaotic spirit stone. Long Chen grabs a chaotic spirit stone and finds that its size is the same as the previous chaotic spirit stone, but the fog inside is different. Before, the spirit stone fog is not so strong, and here in the spirit stone fog is slowly flowing between the two people's feeling, also very different. In the latter, it seems that there is some strange law attached, and it is more spiritual. It seems that it has its own life and can feel the strange rhythm. It seems that the chaotic spirit stone can be divided into the top and the bottom. It should be the top chaotic spirit stone. It's really developed this time. Longchen surprise tunnel. There are a lot less chaotic spirit stones here than those outside, but there are millions of them, but I'm afraid they are no less precious than those inferior chaotic spirit stones. Kaka kaka. Longchen just put these top-grade chaotic spirit stones away. Xiachen opened a door again, and there was still a pile of spirit stones in the door. Boom! When the door opened the moment, the terrible air surge, the three people rushed a stagger, almost did not fly out. They'll go. What level of chaos stone is this? Guoran was shocked and said that there was only one person to come and there were only hundreds of spirit stones. The energy in the spirit stone no longer appears in the form of fog, but flows back and forth like water. Its fluctuation is many times stronger than that of the so-called top-grade chaotic spirit stone. I'm wrong. Before, it was inferior and intermediate. This should be superior. Long Chen grabs a top-grade chaotic spirit stone and can't help his heart beating wildly. This chaotic spirit stone has the power of terror. It is like the core of a star. If it is released directly, it may directly destroy one side of the world. It's really developed this time. This top-grade chaotic spirit stone contains sound laws of heaven and earth, like a miniature of heaven and earth. With it to help brothers, we can activate chaotic vision and take root in all kinds of ways. The hand that Long Chen holds chaos spirit stone trembles. Excited tunnel. Of course, Long Chen was excited. He didn't expect that he had a moment of great luck in his life. It seems that the Holy King's luck is really unusual, and his bad luck was finally cast off. Guoran and Xiachen are also excited, but Long Chen is the first to keep calm. We need to clean up the place as soon as possible and take away everything we can. In case the people here notice, we will be in trouble. Xiachen nodded. Now is not the time to be happy. He can only escape back to Nirvana with treasure. No matter how excited he is, it's not too late. Xiachen keeps opening the treasure house here by using the array tray. Unfortunately, the armory is almost empty like a site. There is nothing left. According to Long Chen's conjecture, when the final battle comes, the heavenly god sect will not dare to reserve anything. All the divine soldiers will fight. However, what excites Xiachen and Guoran is that there are many highly purified materials in the material library, many of which are immortal gold and iron used to make immortal magic soldiers. They are in full bloom, and they search all the materials. But unfortunately, many treasures were annihilated in the battle. Long Chen didn't find any skills, and even didn't collect precious pills, which made him a little disappointed. After all, many of the precious medicines here are from ancient times, and the outside world has almost cut them off. If you can get the precious medicines here, it will be very powerful. Longchen can refine more powerful pills. What is this? All of a sudden, in a treasure house, the three men saw countless strange iron monsters with different sizes, strange shapes, and strange runes. I see. They are puppets, but they are not combat type. They are like mining puppets. When Xiachen saw these puppets, he was surprised. Kaka. When they opened another treasure house, they saw a number of war armor monsters appeared. They were all armed with sharp weapons. They were murderous and made people look cold. They must be fighting puppets, good guy. Their runes are so precise. Looking at these fighting puppets, Guoran's heart leaped wildly. He suddenly became interested. Maybe his future armor can learn from them. It's just that there seems to be something wrong with these fighting puppets. What's piled up here should be some defective products. Several other treasures around are empty. It's obvious that the powerful fighting puppets have gone out to fight. But even so, Guoran and Xiachen are still careful to put them away. They all have an idea that if they can make powerful puppets, they will sweep the world in the future. When collecting puppets, they found that these puppets need to be driven by chaotic spirit stone. That is to say, as long as there is chaotic spirit stone, a powerful puppet army can be cultivated. After searching all the treasures, the three returned to the main hall. Xiachen was not polite and took away all the array plates on the floating platform one by one. He needed to go back to study these array plates and believed that there would be great harvest. Boom! Just as they were about to leave, the earth suddenly trembled, the breath of terror rose, and Long Chen's face changed. No, we seem to be exposed. www. Novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. You're tuning in to the Passion Pages YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.